So, for one of my early jobs, I went for a role early on as a waiter, and the manager at the restaurant said, "Why did you think you would be a good waiter?" And I said, "It's because I think I can bring a lot to the table." I refused to go bungee jumping, by the way. I came into this world because of a broken rubber. I'm not leaving because of one. Thank you. And finally, how many narcissists did it take to change a light bulb? None. They're all using gaslighting. God! Come on! I did a couple of Halloween ones, but I'll leave it right there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Black Dog 147. I'm Lee.
Well, I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week we will see how everyone's week's been, and we will have a little chat, and then we will get some feedback for last week's movie, which was Barbarian. And then we will move on to this week's movie, which is my choice, which was the recently released, so therefore I'm already trying to distance myself from it. No, the No One Will Save You, which was on Disney+. So we'll get to that soon enough. But let's find out how everyone's week's been. Let's find it out. God, I'm going too slick. What's going on?
You won't last, don't worry.
I was going to say, have I forgot to press start or something? Oh, God. So let's find out how everyone's week's been. Jim, how's it been, mate? Hello. How's your week been, sir?
Philander could have been better.
Oh, right. Okay. What's happened? What's occurred?
Well, firstly, whenever I slipped my disc a few years ago, whenever the seasons change, I start getting a bit of backache.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a typical cliche thing I always thought was nonsense, but it is actually true.
Right.
Back injuries. Or it is in mine anyway.
Yeah.
But it was aching a bit, and yeah, that's fine, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. However, then it got worse and worse, and it turned out actually a little bit of sciatica.
Oh.
So you've got a pain right in my hip going right down to my knee, making it very painful to walk.
Oh, shit.
However, I saw it for a few days, then I remembered I still have liquid morphine in the house from having one of my lungs out.
Nice.
Which I never finished.
Nice.
So, I'll get one good night's sleep at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just going to read from it, Teresa. Out like a light. Best night's sleep I've had for ages.
Nice.
And actually, that seemed to scare it off. He was going, "Oh, bollocks, you got morphine. I'm going to play somewhere else."
Nice.
However, Sunday morning, we found our little kitchen drain had backed up.
Oh.
Now, this does happen this time of year. Leaves sort of find their way in and clog it up. And, not a problem. Wasn't leaves this time, though.
What was it?
Well, it was brown like leaves.
Oh, no. Go on.
Yep, it was sewerage.
What?
Backed up.
Mm.
So I thought, typical, you always do this on a Sunday or a bank holiday, don't you? So anyhow, it's kind of... I got some drain cleaner because the local hardware stores, so I just bunged that in and just a couple of bottles of bleach and just said, I found some wire, gave it a poke. Well, I can't feel a blockage anywhere, and it's kind of it's backed up somewhere horrible in the system.
Oh.
Anyway, it did drain down a bit and it was stopped kind of like overflowing, which was good.
The turds weren't floating past the kitchen window.
Horrible. But like Monday, it was still like just full of horrible sludge, and it'd gone down a bit, but it's kind of this ain't shifting. So I rang the water board, and they were kind of, well, if it's on your property, you have to fix it. If it's a problem further down a lane and it's kind of public property, what you can do is you can just send us the bill. Oh, thanks. So all this stuff on your website. Oh, if this sewage ring us immediately, it's a threat to your health and safety. We'll be on it straight away. Yeah, you're going to fuck all, aren't you?
Yeah, and then
never mind.
Yeah.
So I ended up. Fortunately, the guy who owns the house next door and rents it out. I get on well with, and I still had his number, and I said, sent him a message. And Ted, can you knew someone who's good at fixing drains. He said, "Yep, I know a guy I've used. Thought that's what I want." No, it's a Yellow Pages potluck.
Yeah.
So I rang this fella, and he said, "All right, I can be around in half an hour." I was like, "What? Really?"
Nice.
Yep. He came round, just sorted out with his big magic van with a supersonic pressure hose, all cleared out, all working again. Bang. Discount for cash? Yes, please.
Nice. Nice.
So all sorted, thankfully. But oh god, that was a stressful couple of days. Thinking, oh Jesus, what's going on?
Oh Christ. So you could say that your Sunday was a bit shit.
It was a shit weekend all around me, really. So like Monday night though, what's kind of yet?
Mm.
I couldn't believe it. He answered his phone, which is a plus.
Mm.
He can come round today, on a Monday afternoon. Not like, oh, well, my brother's got my hose. I can come maybe Thursday and all this shit. No, straight round, job done, boom.
Nice.
Discount for gas. Yeah. So if you're in the northeast area, Paul Ryder Drainage, I can highly recommend him. Very
Lovely.
Reasonable rates. Very nice man.
Very, very nice man.
Yes, yeah. So that was good. So today my stress level is slowly returning to normal.
Nice. Well, that's all right then. That's cool.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Are you sure it's not just because you got some of that morphine still left over floating through
Possibly.
your system?
Yeah. They're on standby.
Yeah. See if you can beat Darren to the sleep this week. The race to the snoozing. Cool. Okay.
But yeah, so I thought October, you can stop this shit now.
Well, it started with shit.
I know you knock it off. We're not having another month of this. Thank you very much. So
nice.
Come on, behave yourself.
Nice.
Get out your system. I want a nice quiet wind down for the rest of the year. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You don't.
This will be a fine thing, I know. But
good luck. Yeah, good luck with that. But oh well, cool. Anything else, sir?
No, I think I'll leave that at that. I think
that's good. I'm always a little fearful of asking that sort of thing after you sort of like if you've opened with I got sciatica and then I had shit flying out of my drain pipe. I sort of kind of worry about where it's going to go if I go, have you got anything else? It's like, no, the stuff I didn't want to mention was okay. Fair enough.
Leading up to a crescendo. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here's the big finish.
Yeah, everyone back up. Make some space. Okay then, cool. Well then we'll move on to you then, Elton. What about you, sir? What's your week been like?
It's been very quiet. I have only one thing of note this week, and that is I fancied a change of game to play. On the old PlayStation 4, because that's all I've got. By the way, note to everyone else, my son bought PlayStation 5. Fucking hell, it's not fair. But anyway, let's move on.
Doesn't he owe you?
He owes me big time.
I was football thing.
I was going
to no, let's not mention that.
I mean,
it will be payback,
I mean, it was in the news. It was in the news not long ago. The old FIFA thing changing to FC 2024 or whatever it's called now. So,
God, what the fuck are they doing? Anyway, I don't play that. I haven't played that for a long time.
No, you don't. However, there's you can be saving him from himself by taking his PlayStation 5 off him.
I think you would be remiss, and if you didn't actually go in there and go, son, it's for your own good.
Yes.
Trust me, this is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me.
Well, you'll learn a valuable life lesson.
You certainly will.
Yeah.
That sometimes life can be a bit shit. There we go.
Sometimes your kitchen drain will just produce something you really didn't need. Ergo, give me your fucking PlayStation. Anyway, go on.
Well, I will let you know how that goes then.
Yeah. Go on. My friend Jim has had a terrible week, and on the basis of that. I'm taking your PlayStation.
It's a really terrible week, and because of that, I need to play the PlayStation for charity. Until the PlayStation 6 comes out. Yep. No, that's what I said I'm doing.
Yeah. Anyway, go on. Sorry, mate.
Well,
What did you actually play on the PlayStation 4?
I decided to change up things. I'm still wandering around the wastelands of the Long Dark, so don't worry, anyone. Not that anyone is worried about that, but
Woo.
I saw you were online playing it not less than 2 hours ago.
yep, just trying to get to a critical point.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good though. Where was I? Yes, so I decided to try something else out at the weekend, and I thought, oh, I've got an online friend that plays a video game, and I was like, okay, it looks all right.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'll like it, but we'll give it a go. And this game is Farming Simulation 2019. It is free on the
Right.
PlayStation, right? And I thought, I honestly thought I'd have the hilarious things of trimming cows' hooves, or arms up cows' bottoms, or holding up traffic, seeing how long I can get the queue, or shooting burglars in the back as they escape from my barn.
It's a VR game then, is it? Yeah.
I wish.
What we got, we're giving you this free bin with a plastic bag in it. We just spray some lubricant on it, and then you put your arm in it, right, where the bag's all clumped, and that will simulate the arm entering the cow.
The full James Herriot experience. Yeah, go on.
Indeed, yeah.
So go on.
No, it's fucking well boring. It's
Really?
yeah.
Wow, Jeremy Clarkson makes it look so fucking interesting.
Oh man, I even tried to draw like a cock and balls in the grass, and it just wouldn't work. It's fucking bollocks.
I drove my tractor past your window last night.
I was hoping it'll be like holding up traffic and doing all that. Get
Proper farming stuff.
Yeah, get like a trophy for 10 cars behind you, and then 20 cars, and then 50 cars, and burglars come along, and you stop them from raiding, and shoot them in the back, and not go to prison for it, and too soon, I suppose.
Well, can I just inform you that Farming Simulator 22 is free on PlayStation Plus as from the 7th of October.
Yeah, I kind of add it to my library today. I'm probably never, ever going to download it, but I stick it in the library, just in case. I do that with every game there. They're like, would you like this free game? I'm like, well, yeah. Stick it in the library. I'll never play it, but, stick it in there.
Yeah, I've got 15,000 games. How many have I played? 3. And it's the same 3 I've been playing since the day I bought the PlayStation.
Yeah, and don't you dare remove them from me. This is the reason why I bought this console, for these 3 games, and not this library of 214 that you've got for me for free. Never going to happen.
Never going to play it.
But man, I was excited to use all this farming contraptions, and I jumped in my I think it was just a normal tractor, and it's like, okay, right, go weed the fields. I was like, really, am I weeding fields now? Is this what I'm doing now in my life? My spare time, I'm weeding fields. Okay,
Or did you weed in a field?
No, I didn't weed in the field.
You didn't weed in the field, no.
I got pissed off.
You didn't go and s'mores on the moors, no? Or anything like that, no? Not at all.
So what's that? Is that
S'mores
dogging?
on the moors,
No.
if you want. I mean, you'll have something to eat. And
Hang on,
while
you offering?
Hang on.
All right then.
This,
Let's go.
Hang on, this podcast has taken a very odd turn.
I'll be over in a couple of hours. Ellen. It should just be about right.
This is all just
Bring
me
a
and you
notepad.
me and you just looking each other in the eye, seeing who will back down. Okay, let's go dogging. Come on.
Let's go dogging. Let's go dogging.
You know when I said that the start of this podcast went too well? Yeah, well,
Here we go.
here we go. Here we go. Here's the cosmic karma coming round on the
Where
merry-go-round.
were the wheels of this podcast when you last saw them? They definitely weren't on the podcast.
No, definitely
Well,
not.
just get a bit back on track a bit.
Oh,
Last week I was saying about the Northern News podcast.
yes,
I was
yes.
listening to an episode the other day, and they had a story that revealed apparently Yorkshire is the dogging capital of the UK.
That's
There's
disgusting.
more dogging sites than anywhere else.
That's disgusting.
Wow.
Where?
Come on, Darren.
Let's go.
Yep. Let's consult the yellow pages.
Yeah. Welcome to
Why are they yellow? Well, no.
Yeah, that's it. We're rebranding. It's the Black Dogging Podcast.
Water sports. Black dog. No, this is going down. No, let's not go there. Back up.
Give us the
Guns,
room.
Reverse.
Scrap our plans to do a parody cover of Bob Marley.
Oh no.
Dogging. Hope you like dogging too.
One love, one at a time, one heart. Get in a row and flash those lights. When you
there's
are
that-
ready, one dog.
That's on by the Jacksons. Looking through your window.
No, there's. You want to give us Tina Turner? Steamer windows! Sorry.
Let's all make love.
And this is the road to hell.
Martin, if there's not a picture of dog in the photos this week, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yep.
Oh
I'll
well.
probably put a picture from Crufts or something in there. That is what you meant by dogging, isn't it? No, Martin. What did you mean then? Let me whisper it in your ear. Ooh.
In a Ford Cortina by the lay-by.
What? Me? In a Ford Cortina by the lay-by? with a bunch of strangers watching me?
Oh God.
Oh, suits you, sir.
So there you go.
Were you naked, sir? Were you? Were you wearing galoshes, sir? Oh! I like a good galoshes, sir. Oh! I like the way it feels as I slip into it. Oh!
Waders, sir. Waders.
Yeah.
Do you like waders, sir? Up to the wrist. Over the shoulders, sir. Do you like waders? I bet you do, sir. I bet you like the squeaking, sir, don't you? Yes, sir. You like the squeaking.
You're not allergic to PVC, are you, sir? Oh, you like the feel of it on your skin, don't you, sir?
Oh! Oh, good Lord. And there go the wheels. Doing, doing,
Yep.
doing, doing. Down the road. Anyway. So, yeah. So you guys are just sort of like staring each other in the eyes now. Who's going dogging?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not adding anything else to this. No, that's it.
That's
That's
it,
my
is it?
week. Yeah.
I've just got to tell you, I'm
not
actually...
doing
Think of the
anything
Shonky
else.
Lab you could do, though.
Yeah.
Did I mention I'm not actually at home? I'm broadcasting from a lay-by on the M6.
The M6.
We did the boot fair together, didn't we? So,
We certainly did.
Not that
Oh
different.
yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah. Well, you know, in both cases they double dip and they have no idea what's in the box. Anyway, so
I'm all hot and flustered.
every day's a surprise. Right, so yeah, I guess we'll move on.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Could you though? Could you move on from this? I mean, it's a bit traumatic. Isn't it, really?
I don't know. Maybe I've seen too much in my mind's eye.
Really?
I've seen too much. My brain's gone to places it shouldn't have gone. Maybe I should just stop here. Thanks very much.
Where's it going to go, Darren? We went Jim's Shitty Pipes, Dog In,
Oh.
and,
Yep.
and now this. Where are you going to take us, Darren?
He told you by the AM6 on the lay-by.
By the M6. Yeah. Excuse me, mate. Oh, can you just excuse me a minute? Could you not shine that torch in my fucking eyes while I'm doing this? Thank you.
Take that out of your hand. Wash it first.
Jesus Christ! No, don't stick it there. I will make you fucking wear it. All right.
That's not a cigarette. That's not a cigarette lighter, and I don't believe what you say. Anyway,
No, I do not want a wet willy. Anyway,
what? Okay. Anyway.
well, I'm not wearing any trousers. No. Anyway, yes.
Oh, good Lord.
Well,
Yes.
it's pretty boring compared to that.
Go on in.
No incidents of dogging or anything like that at all. really.
Right.
It's just been one thing that I've watched and one thing that I've played.
Go on, him.
Indeedy. Okay, we'll go for the played thing first. A game that I've been obsessing a bit about. It's called Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh, right.
Christ,
yes.
dogging simulator.
Yeah, well, actually,
X,
Yeah.
X,
X,
triangle, X.
Waggle the stick, waggle the stick.
Why? Nice. Just why? Why?
Daily
Why?
Daily Thompson
Why?
Decathlon's taken a whole new turn in my
Why?
mind.
It's very dark.
Certainly has. So yeah, it's a dogging simulator in Tokyo. No,
Dogging in Tokyo. Isn't that
dogging
a
in
menu?
Tokyo. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, easy.
What?
Jesus
What?
Christ,
What?
man.
Oh, hang on. Apparently that's not. Apparently that's off, is it? Oh,
That's in pretty bad taste, mate. I mean, come on.
we've done shit pipes dogging, and you're all just fine with that. That's all fine and dandy. I make some comment about people eating dogs, and you're like, "Oh no, you've crossed the line."
You have. You've really crossed. You've crossed the threshold.
Holy shit! Go on, carry on.
You penetrated an area you shouldn't have been in. You naughty boy.
Don't just look. Have you got? Have
He's
you?
off the lead.
Have you got? Have you
It's
got?
a bit taboo.
Have you got a lay-by that you got to go to sometime soon?
No, I'm still in one. Oh, I'm trying to pull out.
Stop
I'm
it!
also trying to get onto the motorway as well. But yes.
Holy fuck!
Oh dear.
Oh, where was I? Oh, Tokyo. Yeah, that's
The
right.
M6 lay-by.
Yeah. The M6 lay-by. Ghostwire
M6.
lay-by on the turnpike
With a candlestick.
with a candlestick. Yes. No, so it's just going to seem really boring there. So Ghostwire Tokyo, basically Tokyo gets completely
Ghosts.
covered in a mist. Yes, a mist of mystical proportions, which turns everybody into spirit form.
Right.
So that these, I'm not quite sure what he is. He's some guy. This guy who's going around saying, "I can free them all. I am the savior of the human race." Well, he's actually not.
No.
So you play a young man who's not affected by the mist like everyone else is, and you become partially possessed by the spirit of a guy who is trying to take out the villain, who gives you all these powers to try and combat all the demons and everything else you encounter while you are walking around Tokyo trying to free these spirits and try to take this guy down. And it's got everything from headless schoolgirls to the Slender Man coming at you.
Are we back on the M6 again?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what can we found with M6? It's the Slender Man and headless. No, I'm not going.
No, stop it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm having quite a good time on it.
Cool.
I've been playing for the past week or so.
Mm-hmm.
It's dragged me away from Starfield for a while.
Yep.
So yeah. So very good. Excellent stuff. And
Can I just ask, with that Starfield, is it an RPG?
it is, and you can basically do what you like in it. I'm having a lot of fun in it at the moment. I keep finding new sort of YouTube videos on, like, hey, have you discovered this? Look at this. This ship was parked on the corner of the M6 in a lay-by. Somebody just left it there. They just wandered off. I don't know. Nobody was there when I came and got it. So I went in it and just went away.
It seems to me like, I mean, I'm talking from no experience whatsoever. It's like Skyrim in space.
It's a bit like that, yeah. It's I would say so. There's a lot more of it though than Skyrim's one. But yeah, it's a lot of exploration to do. You can just play that game. In fact, I think Bethesda said they designed it to be played for a very long while. And there's all kinds of shit you can come across in this game as well. So Ghostwire Tokyo. I think it's coming on free. If you've got an Amazon Prime account, then you've got Amazon Games, and it's going to be free in about a week or so's time on there.
Right.
So yeah, if you don't want to buy it, you can always give it a try when it appears on there. So Amazon Games. So
Okay.
there we go. Yeah, I think it's in the next 2 games that they're giving away.
Cool. Okay.
So there you go.
Lovely.
So we get on to the thing I did watch
Mm-hmm.
on the TV, or should I say on my phone, and that's the new spin-off from The Boys,
Gen
called
V.
Gen V.
Okay. I've only watched one episode, so go on.
Yeah, I've just finished. I finished episode 2 today, and I'm really liking it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking it. It's nice to have that thing of, okay, so this is supposedly the main character of the story. Where are they going to go? Are they going to be good? Are they going to be evil? Are they going to be nonplussed?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's shades that it could go any way
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
this one character.
Go on. Explain the plot, because it's an interesting setup.
It
I
is.
think.
It is. If anybody's watched, I mean, just in case anybody's not watched The Boys, the universe of The Boys is, they try to put a more, shall we say, realistic slant on superheroes by, they know how humans actually work. The writers of this, they know that humans are fallible, and sometimes they do things not for the most altruistic sort of reasons. And just because you have superpowers doesn't mean to say, or you say that you're a good guy, doesn't mean to say you are. It's more about, see, in this world, it's very much about going on, doing interviews, being very popular in the media, that kind of thing.
It's all
showing a false
it's all about
face.
your social media presence, isn't it?
Indeed. And this feeds over even more so into the spin-off, which is Gen Z, which is all about the up-and-coming heroes who attend a college or a university for people who've got special powers. And that could be anything from ranging from Homelander's powers. For anybody who doesn't know, Homelander is the show's equivalent of Superman, but on the wonk.
On the wonk is an understatement of the year.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this focuses on a group of students at this school, and like The Boys, it's got some quite eye-opening bits in it, especially in the first episode. So if you're going to watch this on the train, make sure there's no one behind you, right? And that you're not wearing glasses when you do this, because people will be able to see what you're watching, especially for one bit. Where there's some shrinkage.
The shrinky dink
involved.
pickle. The pickle
Yeah,
lady.
the shrinky dink pickle lady. Yes. I'm not going to say any more than that. But it's like bizarre and quite sad.
It is. It is both.
It is.
It is both sad, but also the props team must have had a whale of a time with one of the major set dressing there to do.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Yes.
So so it does focus on this group. It's particularly one girl. Whereas all of the people that come to the college, most of them have kind of, should I say, they've been gifted entrance into this faculty. They know someone, or their dad's rich, or they know another superhero that's got them in. The character we start off with comes literally from nothing. She's got she hasn't got a family anymore. Her sister doesn't want to talk to her for various reasons, which you'll find out if you watch the episodes. And so she is trying to be very careful with what she does. But of course, in programs like this, we know the more careful you are, the more likely you are to fuck things up. Indeedy. So I really like it. It's a good filler in for The Boys. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. by the second episode, I was really kind of I'm well on board for this. Let's see what's happening, where this university and its characters are concerned.
Yeah. I haven't, like I say, I haven't seen the second episode. I only saw the first last night, so that I mean, I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm just, I need to see the second episode, I think, because I'm kind of in the back of my mind. I'm kind of like, they're just going to do the boys and just be a bit outrageous for the sake of it. But especially the tiny pickle lady was kind of like that moment of, oh right, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
here we go.
It's not going to get any less sadder for her, for a while. I have the impression of this show.
Yeah.
So it's it, and there is that underlying darkness as well in this, because there is something not quite right about the faculty.
No,
as well. But anyway, I will leave it at that. But I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon Prime at the moment, and it's free to watch. And the first 3 episodes are up.
Cool.
It's a new episode every Friday.
Lovely.
So there
Excellent.
we go.
Cool. Okay. Well then,
I do have one other thing, but we share this one, Lee.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Cool. Well, in which case, buckle up, because here we go. Because I've got a list. I've got a list.
Top 10 countdown.
Greetings, pop pickers. Welcome to Lee's Top 10.
This week on Lee's Week, Lee discovers that he was almost run over by Reverend Org. Yes, apparently so.
Hit and run.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Apparently, right. Let's just couch this, because a few of these things come out of the same thing. Me and Udall and Martin Thompson, we went to Jen Williams' book signing for a new book launch, Talon's Sister. And we went there and we saw her and she signed the books and we said hello and then sat in the pub. And and that was fine, and we all had a nice little chat, and then someone buggered off at 5. And then that was that.
That's because there was a bloody train strike and they were stopping the trains. I had to get to Waterloo, and it was I think it was like 5:30 when I left.
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah. Managed to get out at 5:30. I wanted to because they've called off the bloody strikes now. You know that for this week. It's like you couldn't have done that fucking Saturday, could you?
Yeah, no. So so we had a little chat, and then just after you left out, I had it revealed to me by Mr. Martin Thompson that he had it revealed to him that Reverend.
Is this a dogging?
No.
thing?
No.
Okay, right.
The Reverend.
So
Reverend
revealing?
No.
Exposing? Is that what you were going to say?
The M6. What is it with the M6, man?
It's shaped like the sigil Odegra. Right.
Odogra.
Odogra, yeah.
I think you found it's pronounced.
Jesus. Get it right, Dal.
Sigil Odegra. I love that. Oh, that's it. That's sticking, that is.
So, apparently.
So she said.
Hey, thank you. Apparently Reverend Org confessed that he sent to Martin Thompson that he, while driving one morning, he almost ran me over, and I was completely unaware of the fact.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And so I thought, you know what? Best I address this now, and I speak to Reverend Org and of the Borg cast, and I will come up. I will say to him, "What happened? What did you do?" And I sent him a text saying, "I hear that you almost run me over," and his only response was, "I'll get you, Gadget, next time."
Well, just think about it. You could have, if he did hit you and offed you, he could have done the service for you right there. That's it, you know.
last rites on site.
Yeah, it's like a one-stop shop. Death and ritual.
Hang on, you're looking after a dog at the moment. It wasn't your daughter acting like Penny and the dog saving your life with you oblivious to things.
Maybe that was it. Maybe I am Inspector Gadget, except I don't have any gadgets. or any idea what's going on around me. Well, that's much like Inspector Gadget. Yeah, maybe that was it. So that was the first. That was the
Behold,
first.
as I extend my third arm.
No.
Watch how it holds. Look, it's holding an orange. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's right. Sorry. No, forget that. Moving on.
Go,
I'll just put
Gadget
that
peanuts. Oh no, stop.
Oh, no, this is wrong. This is so wrong.
so wrong. Anyway, so that was the first thing I found out. Second thing I found out was that when you know all these things that Martin puts up, the Black Dog Without Context. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you know the amount of work he puts in trying to make those things? He actually sits there taking notes. So as we're listening as we're talking right now, he is now making notes, and he shared with me his notes list for last week, which had things like Bez, Paul Shane, all that sort of stuff written down. His notepad must look like a fucking rantings of a madman.
So if we say
Sorry,
things
Marty.
like, Blancmange Thunder,
Blancmange Thunder.
he takes a note of that.
He
doesn't
does.
Or Thunder Blancmange, whichever
Yeah.
way you want to take it. Whichever's easier when you Google it.
M6 sideline dogging Blancmange Thunder. I think
I am the M6 Blancmange Thunder. That's it.
Blancmange dogging.
That is my dogging name, Blancmange Thunder.
It's both a name and a description.
Because I come with the thunder. No.
Because I'm probably like a blancmange.
Creamy.
Because when it hits you in the face, it feels like jelly. No.
No. Good Lord. Anyway. So
Hit me with the blancmange cannon, Doris.
Lots of people around him going.
there's at least
This has gone to a bad place.
this has gone to a very bad place.
On the upside, most of Martin's notes will just say M6.
Yeah, and chain of thought.
What's that? What's that? Shares in blancmange have gone up. Really?
Quick, throw all our money into the stocks and shares for Robinson's jelly. Quick. Yeah, so there was that. So I found that out as well. Yeah, and then that was the two bits that came out of the book signing. I saw Gem V, which we've obviously discussed. I also saw the second part of the Continental from the world of John Wick, and it seems to have done that thing most streaming shows do, which is it's spent an hour going nowhere so that we can all just gear up for a big fight. So yeah, it's 3-parters, and the second part felt pretty much pointless. So it's just it's whatever. It's fine. You can watch it and it'll just be fine. But if you know where it all ends up, it's the worst kind of prequel, because you look at it and you go, yeah, I know. There's no tension here. I know he's going to do this and that person's going to do that, and this is where they're all going to end up. So who cares? Yeah. But anyway, it's fine. The action's slick enough. There was a nice kung fu fight on top of a car, which was quite cool. The other thing, I've managed to get into prime old age, because I noticed
Prime old age.
Yeah.
I've not seen that on my list of features for
Amazon Prime.
Prime old age.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. You're a long-term primer. You get the prime old age. No,
Do you get like Stena stair lifts fitted in less than a day? Or
Yeah. Jeff
Bezos by 10 o'clock.
Jeff Bezos comes along and carries you up the stairs.
Oh, bless him.
Bless him.
He's like a big cuddly bald daddy.
Yeah, with enough money to wrap around the sun 3 times.
He certainly is.
Anyway, what was I going to say? But I got a memory notification from Facebook, which was just a picture of me finishing one of my 5Ks from about 3 years ago, and I thought, oh man, I've got to get back to that weight. I've got to get back to that level of fitness. So I thought, fuck it. You know what? Now's the time to start. COVID's back off. We've got some space. We can actually go out. So I thought, fuck it, you know what? I'm going to start I'm going to start as I did before. So I'm going to start really low effort. A couple of sit-ups. Just get into the routine of getting up in the morning, sit-ups, do a plank. That is a euphemism. Beat you
Drop
to
the kids
it.
off of the pool.
Yeah, drop the kids off at the pool. But anyway, and I thought, just give this a go. I did 2 sit-ups, a 30-second plank, and
There was a wet ripping sound.
there was a wet ripping sound, and I did me fucking back in. I absolutely went down I went down like a sack of spuds, and so I spent the rest of the week kind of gingerly walking around, going ooh, ah, 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 ooh, ooh. And then I left the M6. But anyway, and then lastly, so that took a while to go, and me and Nurofen and paracetamol combo have been in close bedfellows for the last week. And finally, I watched 2 films. First one, Death on the Nile, which is the Kenneth Branagh chummy.
Indeed.
Yes, it's all right if you like that sort of thing. It's a Sunday afternoon murder mystery where it's
I don't mind him as Poirot.
No, I quite like him.
Good.
I quite like him as Poirot. I think he's all right, and it was kind of because we saw the trailer for was it A Haunting in Venice?
Yes,
and we were kind of like, oh, I might want to check that out. So we thought, I'll give it a go. So we watched that, and it was okay. It wasn't anything amazing. It was exactly what you expected. It was,
Yep.
It's a Poirot mystery, except it's 2.5 hours long with a lot of CGI and some drone shots of North Africa and the Nile. So great, wonderful. Not a lot else to say about that one. And then finally, I saw The Creator.
Right. Okay.
The Creator, which if you've not heard of it, is the film in the cinemas right now, which is by Gareth Edwards, and the guy who did Godzilla, and also did the first Godzilla, and also did Rogue One.
Yeah.
It's the basics of it is there's a soldier who was undercover, and he went native. And his girlfriend was apparently killed in the process. When his army buddies all move in on this sort of beach where he's hiding out. Cut to several years later, and he's been drafted back in to take care of this AI because, as we are shown, right in the very first 5 minutes of the title credits, poor old LA had a bit of an accident. And when I say a bit of an accident, what I actually mean is it's a smoking nuclear crater. And
that kind of accident.
That kind of accident, yeah. It literally is a nuclear explosion the size of the city went off, and it was because the AI triggered it. And so what you get is the world gets split into 2 factions, basically the eastern countries, which is kind of represented as New Asia, and then you've got America. And essentially the Americans and the Western world have banned AI, and any AI, it's instantly up for like instant destruction, just kill it all off. Whereas in the East, they've embraced AI and see AI as a sentient race that should be embraced and lived with and coexisted with. And there's a war going on. And essentially, was it David John Washington, Denzel's son, the one who's in Tenet?
Oh, yes.
He's basically drafted in to put an end to the war because there is one AI thing being built in the Far East that they think will bring down the Americans' ultimate weapon, which is this thing called Nomad, which essentially is this humongous great big gun that floats in the sky, and every time they detect a big hive of AI soldiers and robots, it just floats over and just casually just drops a nuke He does. He just kind of floats over, and everyone just looks at it and just goes, "Oh, that's Nomad. Here it goes. Oh, fuck!" You just see a little drip, and it goes, and so essentially they go in and they find out that this ultimate weapon is essentially a kid. At which point the kid informs everyone, or informs John David Washington, that his wife might not necessarily be as dead as he thinks. And that's where the film starts. After that, it's a road movie, but it's on the one hand, it's really interesting. There are lots of really interesting AI ideas, sort of thing you'd see in sort of Ex Machina and films like that, where you're kind of like left with ideas of, oh, well, if AI was really intelligent, would you be able to tell if it was actually alive or not, and all that kind of stuff. But the problem, the film looks gorgeous, absolutely top-notch stunning, and it's got a budget that's only like 80 million. So you're like, wow, this has been made for like the catering cost of like Avengers Endgame, and how have they made it so good? And it looks great. The problem comes with the story, which is it has so many ideas and it never stops for 5 minutes on any of them. It kind of drops an idea and you go, oh, this is what the film's about, and then it just goes, nope, moving on, and it just keeps going. And it starts to feel like, I honestly feel, and I said it on my little post on Facebook, I feel like it's a movie that's actually probably close to 3.5 hours long. And the last third of the movie got chopped up just to have an action sequence. So it suddenly starts feeling like, here's a plot point, here's a plot point, here's a plot point, beep, 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 and it just hops along. But there's no reason for any of these things to happen. They just happen. And it's really a shame, because I sat there willing to like this film more than I did. Will I get it when it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray? Yes, I will, because it looks gorgeous. I will get the art book as soon as it drops in November. But it feels like one of those films where you just go, if you just spent a little bit more time on the script and a little less time on the visual effects, it might have been a perfect bloody film. But you're just constantly frustrated by this idea that it's not quite there. You know, it's like, like Ex Machina spent an entire movie just covering, is she alive? Is she real? Is she really playing? Is she really feeling the emotions, or is she playing a program to play the guy so she can escape? And that's one idea. Now, that idea, or an idea very similar to it, appears in The Creator, and appears like in 1 minute, and is gone or forgotten or completely dismissed for an action sequence 2 minutes later. And you're constantly going, oh, that's an idea, just stop there. No, just stop there. And it never settles. It wants to give you all the ideas, but it doesn't want to make a story out of them. It just wants to keep hopping along with this road movie, love story, adventure. And you're like, no, slow down. It just I know it's 2 hours long, but give me the other hour. Just make it feel a bit more fleshed out. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating, because I really, really wanted to like it. And I'm not saying don't see it. I do think people should see it, because it is an original film. It's like, oh, look, it's not a franchise. It hasn't got superheroes in it. It isn't the same old, same old. It looks lovely, and it's made with a tiny budget, so it should be making its money back. So do go see it. But there's so much about it that just makes you go, oh, if you just spent a little bit more time, if you just thought about it just a little bit more. And it's kind of a bit frustrating. But yeah, so yeah, that's The Creator. It's like I say, and if you do go to see it at the cinema, and don't rely on my judgment, because you might get more out of it than I did. But if you do go to see it at the cinema, see it on the biggest damn screen possible, because when that Nomad thing comes barreling out of the clouds, and you see it kind of drifting from like 20,000 miles away, just drifting over the horizon, and with the blue beams coming down, you just think, oh fuck, here we go. It's like, oh, here we go. Someone's day's about to get really, really bad. Everyone put Sunblocks 5000 on. Nomad's coming. Yeah, it's worth a look. It's worth it for the world building. It's worth it for the visuals. It's worth it for the Hans Zimmer score, which doesn't get all bombastic. It's kind of like it took me a while to even realize it was him. And yeah, it's a 7 out of 10 movie where it should have been a 10 out of 10 movie, because it just needed that bit more. It just needed to slow down a bit, and it just needed to take a breath and just explore a few things, rather than just constantly try and push this idea of like, oh, it's an adventure story, it's a love story, blah blah blah. It's like, fuck off. Just give me the ideas, flesh it out. So, yeah, a bit of a shame, really. And that's that for me. But like I say, go see it. Do go see it. It is worth at least seeing, because I think make your own mind up, and it's worth putting your money to, because I think it's a film that kind of deserves it, if only for its attempt. Because fuck some of the crap that's on. What do you want? Another Saw movie? Good lord.
Yeah, I'd like to go see it, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely worth a look. Right, so we'll stop there. We'll stop there on my week, because, like I say, I've got loads and loads and loads of stuff, and I could have talked about that for hours. But anyway, so we'll leave it there. We did have some feedback, as I said. We did have some feedback, and I've just closed the window like a complete knob. Hooray! Right, okay, so yeah, last week we covered Barbarian, and we covered a lot of subjects in Barbarian. We had a few bits of feedback. The first one from Martin Thompson, who's probably taking notes right now. And he said, Jim was speaking of the Northern News podcast, and I was reminded of a radio show in a similar vein, Welcome to the Neighbourhood. Jade Adams and the guests look through community news and WhatsApp groups for bizarre stories. Only 15 minutes an episode, and it's on BBC Sounds. So there you go. That was in response to your week last week, Jim.
Very good.
Jeffrey Mark Hyman said, Barbarian was a fantastically fun ride. Interesting way it was structured to give it a kind of an anthology feel that kept things very interesting. The cast was top-notch and the scares genuine. However, I did have a big suspension of disbelief issue with the source and the setting of the film's central threat. But I suspect it's more of a me problem than the film's. And finally, I still suspect Bill Skarsgård. He's not getting off the hook that easily. I think he is. I think he is, Jeff. Because I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. I mean, poor old Bill. He's basically
not well.
He's not well.
No, he's not.
He's not well. He's got face ache. His face is a bit tired. he's kind of pathway jam. That did make me wonder, where did his body go?
They ate it, I reckon.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Baby gonna eat.
Okay.
That's what was keeping the dad alive.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's why I reckon there's no neighbours.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, fine. Lovely. Moving on. Right, now Jack Woodgate also posts up, and he said, be warned, I may get a little heavy here. So, caveat all of this, I've given it a brief cursory look over, but I didn't look into it in detail because I was actually working. So here we go. I'm just going to read this out verbatim. Jack's views are his own. I'm only saying that because I have no idea what the content is past the first click where it said view more. But here we go. He says, this film and the character of AJ. Now, is AJ the actor?
Justin Long
that was
character.
Justin Long character,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Hold on, let me just double check that before I go too far. Barbarian. Yeah, Justin Long's character, that was. So the film and the character of AJ reminded me of a pointless argument I got into on Facebook a few years ago. It was on a women's rights page that made a post about how the onus of educating our children about assault should be teaching our sons about consent rather than teaching our daughters to be careful. Naturally, this being Facebook, the usual replies from brain-dead dude bros poured in, mostly along the lines of, "Oh yeah, tell rapists not to rape, that'll work." I tried to point out that a large percentage of sexual assaults were committed by those known to the victim. Also, like AJ, I can imagine those perpetrators being genuinely shocked at their own accusations. I quote, "I'm not the one of these monsters who grabbed women in the dark in alleys. I just persuaded the girl to sleep with me." I also outlined the problem with othering those who are capable of sexual assault, portraying them as subhuman monsters fundamentally different from normal people. We and the people we're close to can't and won't do that. When our friends, brothers and celebrities we admire are accused, we quite naturally try and reason it away, even sometimes making excuses for them until their guilt is proven. Naturally, the guy wasn't having any of it, and he said he knew a guy who was sent down for assault, but always knew that there was something weird. I always knew that there was something weird about him, quotes. People like AJ cannot and will not see the similarities between their actions and the actions of those they themselves consider monstrous. Before I sound like I'm making myself out to be some kind of enlightened saint, I read another article that stated that all women have experienced some kind of sexual assault. Naturally, my knee-jerk reaction is to go, "Well, not from me. I'd never do anything like that." But then a small calm voice in the back of my head says, "What? Never? You've never sneaked a peek at a woman bending over with a low-cut top? Never copped a feel? I made a move on a date with the policy of apologising if rebuffed, rather than being 100% sure my advances would be welcomed. Made a pass at a woman in a nightclub? Never tried your luck with a female friend or a co-worker? What? Never? Never ever?" It was an uncomfortable home truth. On a lighter note, nobody's going to point out that when Tess was in an unfamiliar neighbourhood miles from home, locked out on a stormy night, the person who answered the door is Pennywise the dancing clown. No wonder she was apprehensive about him. And that's where he ends it. That took a bit of a turn there, Jack, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, uncomfortable home truths. Yes, AJ was a guy who was in denial about his own awfulness, frankly.
Yes.
I think we did cover that, and we did cover that Skarsgård was Pennywise the dancing clown. So yeah, we were, and I think that was deliberate. He was put in the film to deliberately off wrong foot everyone.
Wasn't it directed by the person who directed
It.
It?
I think it was It, Volume 2, wasn't it, that he did?
Okay.
I think so, anyway. I'd have to check, and I'm not going to go through it.
Let's just check. I'm just going to check right now.
As far as the rest of it, I mean, yeah, it's an interesting story, Jack. I mean, yes, people will always make excuses for themselves, and they will always make excuses for people they know, and they will never. And then if they don't know that person, they will other them into monsters. I think that was part of the point with Barbarian, especially AJ's character. I mean, it's kind of a discussion that feels like it would be too flippant to discuss here. We would be too flippant with it, because I think if we tried to cover all of that, we'd be doing another 3 hours discussing consent and sexual politics and male entitlement, and I don't.
We haven't had the best run up to this either.
We haven't really.
Not on this episode.
Not on this episode. I mean, we can't go from making jokes about dogging on the M6 to suddenly trying to make ourselves out to be the paragons and the ideal people to be talking about this subject. Let's be honest. I mean, really. I mean, I appreciate the email, Jack, and I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying that there are no valid points in it. I'm just saying that for us to have that conversation,
we should shut our face, basically.
We should shut our face. Yeah, shut your face. You're in no position to talk about this shit because you got no leg to stand on. You fucking users. You idiots. It's a bit like sending War and Peace into the nursery, putting it in the nursery reading room. I don't think we're qualified or in a position to have that discussion. I appreciate what you're saying, and I hope someone listening to this appreciates what you're saying as well. especially when it relates to AJ in the film, and a bit of self reflection on how everyone treats everyone else. But yeah, I don't know how much more we can address without it all going a bit on the wonk. But thank you anyway, Jack. Silence was just a reply from the others.
Yeah. That's a minefield. I'm not treading them.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And but I think Jack's right to sort of at least point out that you should also be looking at yourself as much as anyone else when it comes to these things.
Definitely.
Well, so heal thyself.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
You can't change the world, but you can change you.
exactly. Thank you, Jim. that's very good. You know what? That's so good. I think we can bail on that point. We can bail. That's exactly the point we can stop. So thank you very much for that, Jack. And if anybody else has any feedback or any confessions of self-revelation, do send them in to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com or put them up on the Facebook group for all to see on facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. And also, just remember, as someone has already joined, that the Facebook group is on private, so therefore you can see it, but you can't join it without approval from any of us. And that's just to stop all the people coming in and trying to sell us dog food, because we got dog in the title. So, yes, just go over to the Facebook group and join us there. Right, I think we'll leave it there. And we shall now, when we come back, we will be into our first of our indeterminate weeks of horror as we start singing about fiery ladies after that email. Yes, as we review No One Will Save You. Roll the jingle.
There will now be a short intermission.
Hello everyone, it's me. I'm just interrupting me from earlier to tell you that we fucked up and we completely forgot the jingle. So we put the jingle in a bit later on, but obviously there needs to be a jingle here so that you know that the review's happening. So here's part of a jingle, then me explaining it, and then the rest of the Albatross jingle before we get to the review, which has the jingle stuck somewhere in the middle of it because we remembered we fucked up. Anyway, there you go. Little explanation. On with the show.
Albatross! 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 Course you don't get bloody wafers with it!
Right. No One Will Save You is a 2023 American science fiction horror film written and directed and produced by Brian Duffield, starring Caitlin Denver. The film has only several words of dialogue. Thanks, Wiki. We didn't know that. The film opened in theatres on September the 19th, 2023, and was released on streaming services on Disney Plus and Hulu on September the 22nd. So it was in the cinemas for approximately 3 days. The film tells the story of Bryn, who is a isolated seamstress living in her childhood home, mourning the loss of her mother, who has, shall we say, unintended visitors. The film had a budget of $22.8 million. We have no idea how much it earned because literally it was in the cinemas for 3 days. So we have no idea before it went streaming, and Disney and Hulu never release how many people have watched it. So, got no real answer for you, but I'll go around the table because for the lack of format. Let's just do it. So, Jim, how much do you think it made? Jim?
That was my answer.
God damn it!
God, son of a bitch!
What am I going to do for my answer now?
You absolute motherfucker! I should have sussed that. I should have sussed that. I am disappointed with myself. I'm disappointed with myself on behalf of the listeners. Oh my good Fucking God. Bastard.
That
Right.
had to be done.
It did have to be done. It did have to be done. And it was well done because it caught me, you absolute fucker. Right. Okay. Now the gauntlet's thrown down. Elton, how much did it make?
I've been sitting on that one for a week. Jesus.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, fuck it. That's it. I don't
I've been
care
sitting on that one
anymore.
for a week. Okay. Darren, how much did it make in the cinema? Do you think?
I think it made 12 wop 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 wop, and we'll throw in a bag of alien sign language as well.
What, busting a move and popping and locking?
Yeah, exactly. Cutting some shapes in the Church of Dance. There we go.
Get the lino out in front of Catford Muse. I'm going to throw some shapes. I'm going to pop and lock.
It's Ollie and Jerry. Ollie and Jerry. We have waited far too long for this moment to arrive.
Ain't no stopping us.
So stop it.
No one does it better. Anyway,
Were they the aliens off of Sesame Street? Bop, 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 bop,
Book.
bop.
Bring. Well, I can't give you an answer, so I'll just go bring, and that's how much it earned.
Right.
It's my film, so we'll go around the table quickly. Just a spoiler-free one first. We'll go around the table. What did everyone think of this film? I mean, I haven't seen it. None of us have seen it before because it literally came out about 2 days before we started. We chose it. So, yeah. What did everyone think? I'll start with you, Darren. Actually,
Yep.
Go on. Yeah, let's go for that. Go on. What did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was one of those nice little indie films that, just comes out of nowhere.
Mm.
And it approaches a very well used sort of subject and tries to do something a little bit different with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was refreshing. That's the thing. And I thought the aliens were fucking creepy as well, because I sat there creeped out through most of their appearances just because of the way they get introduced. Each version of that race, the various members, how they just are 2 points of light in sort of like blurred in the distance, and then they move, and you're like, oh, and I can feel the shivers going up my spine.
Right. Okay.
You know?
But you liked it, yeah?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay then. What about you, Elton?
I really enjoyed it. Like Darren, yeah, I thought the aliens. What? Sorry. Oh, fuck it. I've
Too
done it
late.
again, haven't I? I've
we've
fucking
already
done it again, haven't I?
It's all right.
Oh.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Darren already gave it away. He said it. He described them in detail.
Yep.
First off, I'd like to really apologise for last week.
I don't think you need to, mate. I think it's actually in the description of the film.
It
and
does.
I'm
It
pretty
does say
sure-
when you look on
Yeah.
the Disney Plus, it says blah 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 woman extraterrestrials. So
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
So you're right, but you didn't know that, of course. So actually, no, you are still.
Yeah.
you know. You didn't know that. It's
No,
not like
you're-
let's pretend.
You're right.
Yeah.
I deserve to be lambasted because
Yep.
yeah, I got too excited. I was drinking. I had a little can of Coke on the go as well, and
Oh, 2 sugars in your tea and you were off.
yeah,
Some
I
Dextrol tablets.
card?
Yeah.
I got way too excited, so I apologise. I did not mean that. And and I've ripped people for spoilers in the past,
Yeah.
but that one was totally accidental.
Mhm.
Not it wasn't intentional or
That's
anything
what
like
she
that.
said.
Nice.
But the actual movie, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was done very, very well. Yeah, I've seen a little bit online that people don't like certain bits about it, but I thought it was fucking creepy at times,
Mm.
Yeah.
and that is what gets me. Fucking had me going. So, yeah, roast potatoes ahoy.
Hey, a roast potato fest, eh? What? How many roast potatoes? We got to take a note today.
It's a full plate, definitely.
A full plate.
Yeah, full plate.
Full plate. Okay. Well, there you go. Full
Is that
plate.
Piper Mariners or what
Isn't
sort of
that,
potato
isn't that
you
an
talking
oil
about?
field?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a disaster, wasn't it? I'm sure it was.
I was going to say, don't you mean Maris Pipers?
Yeah, Maris Piper, sorry. Piper Mariners. Yeah, paper mache.
Piper Mariner.
The Piper Mariner.
Indiana
from
Jones.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was an oil rig disaster, the Piper Mariner.
Piper Alpha.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
What's got 4 legs and goes woof?
Dog on fire, isn't it? Anyway. Right. Anyway, so you liked it then, Elton.
Yes, I did, yes.
So, Jim, over to you.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was very inventive. It didn't quite creep me out, but it definitely got the needle to me not like this. But it was kind of like, as I say, fierce subjective was pushes your buttons, and it's kind of this was very well done. I thought it was genuinely some proper eeriness to it, and just a very, very clever storytelling. That's what impressed me more than the creepiness in the end. Was just kind of how the whole thing is put together and what it achieves and the way it achieves it, which we'll get into later.
Okay, cool. For me, I thought it was 2/3 of a really, really creepy movie, and 1/3. I don't know. The final act, I'm going to need some convincing on. I think is probably the best way of putting it. I know what they were going for. I don't know if they executed it as well as they could have done.
I think I've got a.
I'm sure we've got plenty. I'm sure we got plenty of theories, and I've got my own, and that's cool. I'm not saying it's a bad film at all. I was fully engaged in the first, like I say, the first 2/3. I was all over it. The final third has a few moments, a few wrinkles, and a few things where I'm okay, but otherwise. Yeah, a solid, another good sort of movie from sort of that Disney Hulu. They've made movie for a streaming and tried to give it the big budget polish for a small budget movie. And I think it, for 20 odd million that it was cost to make, along with like the creator, I think small budgets, big ideas is actually
You're right, you got Windy Pops.
Yeah, I had a little hiccupy there.
Okay.
Yeah, that shouldn't have gone for the choice of wine. I had wine. I had the option of wine or tea, and I took the latter. Anyway, so I think for the budget it had and for the ideas it was presenting, I thought was very good. But the final third really made me kind of just put a wobble on it. But anyway, that's it. But otherwise, I'd say thumbs up, and it's certainly worth a look. Right, I think we'll leave it there because we're going to go into spoiler zone. Now, obviously, this is a brand spanky new movie, so, you probably haven't seen it. If you have, fair enough, carry on listening, and that's fine. If you haven't, my recommendation would be to pause it now, and then join us back after the spoiler zone. Wouldn't you all agree, chaps?
That would be the safest and wisest course of action.
Exactly. So, take it away, Paul.
Baby.
There you go. We're into spoiler zone. There you go. You can't turn around and say you didn't hear that. That's all I'm saying. That's why it's in there. I did also notice that we didn't do the 4 weeks horror jingle. Well, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I might just have to
Do it now.
Really? Okay, yeah, let's do it now. Here we go. Ooh, the goody ladies. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's very loud. Oh, there you go.
Ladies on fire.
Flames. They are dancing in the flames. Ooh, let's turn it down a little bit more because it's blowing my ears out. There you go. There you go. It's gone off. Now, stop fucking about with the sound, Lee. Right. Anyway, sorry. Traditions must be maintained. It feels like we just did one of those cold openers that you get like in the beginning of a sort of like American detective stories, TV shows. You get the cold opener and it's like, and this is what they meant, and then we're into the credits.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my excuse. I'm pretending it was meant. We're supposed to have done it like that, but we didn't. Right, so spoiler zone. We're here. Let's get right into it. Obviously, lots of it we liked. Without a doubt. I'm going to go straight for, what did you think about the aliens themselves? How they were presented, and how long it took before they started being presented? Because to me, it was just like, ta-da, it didn't hold back at all. It just shoved them straight in, front and centre, no build-up, bang, you were in about 5 minutes, weren't you?
Well, you don't actually see them full on to begin with. You just see that they're moving. You get a shot of a foot and stuff like this, and then they come into full view. But I think it was the right time to do it because for me, they never lost the thing of being creepy. That's it. Especially when you see like the light reflecting off their retinas and it's like they're a blurred shape, but you can see that and you realise what you're looking at.
Cool.
I did love the genetic variation in them as well. The sort of like they're these beings know that their bodies are tools, so they they just create them for the jobs that they're needed for.
Okie dokie. Jim?
I like them. I like the design, like the way they were handled.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting kind of a bit more of a tease. Ooh, what's in the house? But I think he just went going, oh, Elton spoiled it. It's aliens. There they are.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's kind of, let's not try and pull the wool over your eyes. It's aliens. We know it's aliens. Here are the aliens.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And I was concerned at first going, you're going to show these guys too much. But I think they just pulled that off.
Yeah.
I think because, as Darren said, they're not just your standard greys. They move in like a weird, fucked up way, and there seems to be different sorts of them. And possibly they could have gone further with that, but maybe we'll get into that a bit later. I did have a tinfoil hat theory to throw into that.
Oh right, okay.
I'll leave that for later on.
Okey-dokey.
But no, I thought it was kind of. I think they could have sort of messed with you a bit more, but then again, I think they knew, the marketing people were going to blab it's aliens, so let's not piss about.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which I do kind of appreciate. It's kind of like the Dan Harmon thing. So Hollywood. I paid money to see Iron Man on an ironing board, and you're going to spend the whole hour telling me how he becomes it. Just fucking show me on the ironing board. That's what I paid for.
Yeah, I came to see a movie
You
called...
don't need to sell me on it. I'm in. You've got the money.
Yeah, I've seen the title. It says Alien. Why is there no aliens in this movie called Alien? It's been 2 fucking hours, for Christ's sake. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. What about you, Elton?
I thought they were very good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They were really, really creepy. This is the quintessential Alien, and I think it's one that terrifies me the most. Because I don't know whether it's going to be friendly or not, and that is what creeps me the fuck out.
Right.
And the way that it was shot with glimpses, and that just gets my mind racing. I'm all over the place with that. I'm not too sure. I don't want to tread on any theories or anything like that, but not too sure if it suffers from the Godzilla effect, and they played on that at all with
what do you mean?
The different sizes in the house in the very beginning. Because there were a couple of different sizes. If you don't quite know what's going on, then you might miss it a little bit, and it might be a case of, shit, we made him too big. It's all right. We'll have big ones. Shit, it's a bit small. It's all right. We'll have baby ones. It'll be fine. But the way they move, the way they sit, the way they work you out, the way they draw your eye, even though they're not sat there and not doing anything, you're just staring at it going, what the fuck is it going to do? I don't know. I can't work it out. And I can really appreciate it. They've taken some time about it. They've taken some time to develop this as well. And it's really hard. I think it's really hard and patient to develop something that sits there.
Right.
And has your attention. It could just be a dribbling, drooling alien, and you'll be like, yeah, okay, I've seen it now. Where do we get the bigger one? But it didn't play it like that at all.
Because that's kind of where I was kind of heading with it, which was like, did they play their hand too early? Because, I mean, yeah, but all three of you said the same sort of thing. You know, they turned up. We were glad to see they turned up, and you see them nice and early. But my first thought when they first appeared, I was like, oh, okay. So how are they going to keep? Are they going to maintain that tension? Because that first bit of the cat and mouse through the house, when it was just like half glimpses through a door or through the hammered glass or through the, as a foot, coming off the bed and all that kind of thing, I'm thinking, oh, now this I like.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, nope, right there it is, front and centre, big head, big eyes, the whole 9 yards. And I'm thinking, okay, well, now what? And that was always, I don't know whether or not it was, that's obviously a me thing, but it was like I was sitting there all the way through going, now what? What you gonna present to me now? Because you can't keep showing the same monster over and over again. It's like a zombie movie. It just becomes like, oh, it's just another one. It's another one. Yeah. So I was kind of interested as to what you guys thought about it, because I just thought, I was kind of like sitting there going, okay, cool, we've got greys. Okay, now what are you going to do with it to make it spooky now that you've shown us once? And yeah, it was just an interesting choice. That was all.
I think it worked. They kept it spooky. Without going over the top or going crazy or anything like that. I thought even when it was full frontal, it was still creepy.
On the M6.
Yeah.
Well, I thought what I thought was interesting was, I thought, all right, all this story is going to take place over one night. It's going to be a siege movie.
Yeah.
However, I was very interested. Went, oh no, she has survived the night. We're into daytime. We're only third of the way through. Now that's interesting. But I know it's kind of the early scenes. They were really channeling the really scary bit in Close Encounters.
Oh god, yeah, with the lights through the windows and all that kind of stuff.
And with the weird noises, they're really, really not recreating that or pastiching it or ripping it off, but that was clearly an inspiration, and that they were going for that kind of. Yeah.
And
it'd be cool to meet
well.
an alien, but actually, once it rocks up, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Signs was the one that came to my mind immediately, which
with the running across the roof.
Yeah, running across the roof, standing in the cornfields, standing on the roof of the house across the way, and then finally swing Meryl swing. I mean, that for me, that's the creepy shit. What you don't see is more creepy to me than when you do see. That's all, but that's always been a personal preference of mine. But
well, there are some great shots where you have her hiding behind the bed, and that door just opens, and you're like, oh, we're seeing you, are we? Okay, it is blurry in the distance, but you're like, oh, right, okay, they're not fucking around with this, are they?
I think for me, when they really were creepy was the bit when you're still not sure what you're looking at, and then it looks through the rippled glass. So the look of it is more distorted, and its eyes are longer, and its head is more distorted, and you can't get a grip of what you're looking at through that glass. And I thought, oh, here we go. Oh, that's good. I'm liking that. Dal, what about you? Did you feel like oversaturated by them, or?
No, I didn't.
No?
I think, and this is,
Hmm.
I like it's more to do with the end and how this turns out
Yeah, well,
for her.
we'll get to the end in a minute, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
I think there's the I mean, there was a question that was put out on the internet of why didn't they just kill her? Why didn't they just offer?
Mm.
And I think, personally, she intrigued them. I think she became this one's given us more trouble than any of the others.
Mm.
You know, I mean, I don't know if, it doesn't actually state whether anyone else did what she did. And I'm not just talking like attacking them, but the whole thing of, I'm sorry. That bit.
Right. I mean, I think if we get into that, we're kind of jumping to the end, but okay, let's do that. I mean, because this, I feel like we're kind of jumping ahead, but I guess we've got to kind of address the elephant in the room because it is the bit that made me kind of go. So
I can see why you would do that, and I think it's very much a Marmite part of the film.
Okay, well, for those of you who are listening but are here only for spoilers, the general gist of the thing is that there's two stories going on, isn't there, guys? I mean, there's the alien invasion,
Yep.
and then there's this kind of more subtle story running through it, which is that the girl Bryn has basically isolated herself because the town is isolating her. Because of what she did as a teenager, which was an argument, as we see, an argument gets out of hand, and she gets pushed over by her friend, Maud, and in retaliation, she grabs a stone and smacks Maud across the head with it. So, but obviously, Maud dies, and no one in the town has forgiven her for this. Now, before we get to the end itself, can I just ask you all three of you, what did you honestly know? Because I don't want to be one of those kind of guys, oh, actually it's quite obvious, but I do want to ask, guys, did you suspect what was going on with Maud when Bryn was seen at the beginning writing letters to her? Oh, I've seen your parents. Oh, I've done this. I've seen that. Did you kind of have an idea of where that was going?
I didn't realise that this is what she'd done when she was like younger. I mean, it could have been anything. It could have been, as you saw there with the, her getting murdered, or whether it was maybe she drove this person out of town and the parents have not forgiven her because she's still missing. It could have been anything like that. I personally didn't know it was death. It was
right.
It's that's one of the things that keeps you clinging on. It's like, so what has this woman done?
Yeah.
Why is she so disliked?
What about you? What about you, Elton? Did you?
I didn't work any of that out at all. I was just interested in the story, and I found it interesting the way that she was being shunned by everyone. Clearly, this is something that's happened to her years ago, and yet the whole town blatantly shun her, along with like the parents, and there's a moment where she comes across the parents, and it's just and. And, there are no words spoken, as we know. But and I suppose that is one of the moments where I'm like, no, fucking say something. Just say something. God damn it. But no, they didn't.
No.
But I didn't work it out. I was interested in it, though. I was already there. But I found it interesting the way that she was being shunned. And it kept me wondering, how is she going to either become unshunned, or how is this going to develop?
Mm.
And it was clear to see she was obviously waving to people before, and they were just blanking her and ignoring her. And she's like, okay, fine. Let me just carry on with my day. I'll go get my bits and let me just do my thing, and then I'll just isolate myself again. And she's clearly the talk of the town every time she comes in, but nobody talks to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt it was a really interesting story and portrayed well. But no, there was no way I could guess what she'd done
Right.
at all.
Okie dokie. What about you, Jim?
Well, I did notice that letter we see quite early on.
Mm.
And I thought, oh, well, you've done something bad, haven't you?
Yeah.
This is something really bad.
Mm.
But it did slot into place for me. I'm not entirely sure when. I think it was when she actually fought back and killed the thing. I thought, you got previous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know why,
okay.
but
Yeah.
but it wasn't a kind of a.
Mm.
It didn't kind of detract from the movie because I wasn't sure until right near the ending that to get the confirmation of that,
Mm.
and it was still kind of, well, all right, somebody died because of something she did. Was it just like a car accident? Did they go swimming, one drowned? Was it, you know what I mean? Was it?
Yeah.
I was intrigued in the character and her story, so it didn't really matter that I made that little connection.
Mm.
And it was really a connection, not like guessing the end or anything like that.
Oh,
It was
God.
just.
No.
But I thought that was very, very well played, and it's a good. For a film sort of like this, you need a good like secondary storyline.
Mm.
You can be creepy all you like, but you can't like comedy. You can't sustain that for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Without something else.
Yeah. It
You
was.
know what I mean? Something else going on to keep you hooked, and that was a good hook because, like, what is it? And you're just getting just little bits. And when she's in the town, you're not entirely sure. Are they being weird because they've all been got up by the aliens, or are they like this anyway?
Yeah.
And there is that sort of doubt, which I really liked.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, because for me, the bit when it twigged that she had done something pretty darn bad, when she was writing the first letter that, oh, I've seen your parents and all this sort of thing, my thought was, oh, she's run off. It could have been any number of reasons, but she's gone away.
I thought she was a babysitter.
Yeah.
And the baby had died in her care, or the kid had come a cropper or something,
And exactly. And then there was the whole thing of her posting. You see her posting off some stuff. And that was a red herring, because she was obviously posting off for models for the town. But when I sort of figured that something bad had happened was when you saw the second alien come looking for her, and she goes into that room, that you see the room that's got Bryn's house or something like that written on it, and there's all the other letters, and they're all on strings, and there's all the letters actually hanging down, and it was like, no, these are not letters she sent, these are letters she's keeping like a shrine. And it was like kind of a weird shrine thing of all the letters hanging there. And I thought, no, hang on. She hasn't gone away. She's dead. She'd be dead. And that bit, once I knew that, a lot of the stuff just kind of slotted into place. How she died, I don't know. But I couldn't tell you. But it was at that point, I was just like, yeah, okay. But I've got the general gist of something bad happened, whether it was an accident or intentional or what. And that was so the reveal towards the end was more of just a how rather than a why for me.
Yeah.
And that was kind of robbed it a little bit of its kind of revelation power, because that's a lot of that sort of stuff, when you suddenly go, that kind of moment, that penny drop moment kind of just passed me by in that third act. I was just like, Yeah, I know she's dead. Oh, she was dead because of a rock. Okay, fine. She's not dead because, I don't know, she fell into a lake or something. The how wasn't as important as the why. But anyway, so now that we've kind of explained that bit.
Well, just before we do, Jim, that bit that you said about she's got previous when she twatted the alien in the forehead with the jingly
church.
thing. Yeah, the church. I hadn't put that together until now. But, oh yeah, there you
it
go.
was not so much the fact she did it; it was a reaction to it.
Mm.
It's kind of oh my god, oh
Yeah.
we're talking really bad, are we?
Yeah. But also the look on her face kind of put when you look back on it a second time,
Yeah.
you go, oh, I see. Her reaction isn't because she's shocked at killing the alien. She's actually shocked
I've
that
done
she's
it
done
again,
it. I've
haven't
done
I?
it again. Yeah. Oh fuck, I've done it again.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was kind of my vibe. It was just like, oh, okay.
How shit would you feel if you just killed an alien? I know they're in your house, wandering around, but like, I've just caused not even an international event. It's like a galactic wide event, haven't I?
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of some of the others appear to be trying to talk to her, and I thought at first, well, is it just we can't communicate, and she's freaking out, and there's no need to freak out really. And then she kills one, and then another one comes, seemingly looking for her. I thought, oh my god, this is the twist, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's killed an alien kid. They've just come camping.
Yeah.
The kids wandered off in her house, and she's fucking clocked it one. now mummy, daddy's here, and I'm really in the shits.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, do you know that would have actually been better. I would have been happier with that. It's like, oh yeah, this has all been a massive misunderstanding. You've now doomed the human race a second time. You've double bubbled this, love. What the fuck?
Mummy's very cross.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
exactly. Yeah, they were just coming down to borrow a cup of sugar on the galactic scale, and you've gone and fucking lamped them as they've knocked on the door. Nice, good work.
They popped down the shops for intergalactic croissants.
Yeah,
And you're like,
and
trying
thought
to
they,
speak French, the holiday French that they do.
yeah, we want un croissant, governor. Yeah, and the clock. Oh, shit. Yeah, that I would have been actually happier with that as an explanation, because then I would have been at least understanding some of the extra alien oddness, which again I might come to in a minute. But now that we've explained the kind of the why of what's going on with Bryn and Maud, the end, and again for you spoilerific people who've hung on without actually seeing the film, the end essentially results in the aliens capturing Bryn, checking her mind or telepathically checking her out, and then seeing the murder, and then deciding, you know what, fuck it, we'll leave her untouched. The rest of the town and presumably the world is overrun with brain controlled octopod controlled people, and meanwhile Bryn is in summer dresses having a nice little hoedown out with the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it all kind of ends on a bit of a song and dance number.
Being
Yeah.
accepted.
So go on in, let's go round the table, because this is obviously the bit that sticks in my head and makes me just go while
Shall I
everyone
go first?
You go for it. Go for it.
Okay, right. So my theory with this is she's attacks them at every step of the way. She's kind of been a bit of a thorn in their side where this is concerned. So they take a bit of a special interest in her. They scan her mind. They see what she's like. They know for a fact that she's removed the implant, right, through sheer force of will. So they know trying to put her into this fantasy world using that is not going to work. So what they do is they rebuild the world in her image. And that's it, because everything is in keeping. You look at the decor of her house and how she does everything. The townsfolk are all kind of now, they dress the way they do. If you look at, look at those ones that were doing up the house at the beginning when she first comes out. And the reason they do this is because they know that she would never stay in that perfect world if it's forced upon her like that.
Okay.
So it ends up with them just because they can do whatever they like with the human race. They can make them do whatever they want once they get the implants in. So there you go. They build it around her. And that keeps her in check, and they take over the planet. They get what they originally came for.
Okay.
Without resistance. Because
Right.
she's so desperate. She's so desperate to have a normal life. And you see this at the beginning when she's waving to people and they're, she keeps trying to have that normal life. And it isn't, it's not being given to her by the people of that village because of what she's done in the past. So, that's what I think the ending means.
Okay. Let's move over to tinfoil hat corner. And Jim, you are a self-confessed tinfoil hat on this one, apparently. So,
Oh no, my tinfoil hat was the idea that the alien she killed is a kid.
oh right, okay.
And then this is all a terrible, terrible misunderstanding. And it is kind of, you have done it again, literally, twice.
You've
But
done
once on a
fucked it up.
cosmic scale, you silly cow.
Yeah.
Rein it in. Anger management.
Yeah.
Try some breathing exercises. Maybe Pilates.
Is that why you weren't allowed? Is that why you're keeping yourself away from other people? Because nobody can trust you not to lamp someone with a fucking brick. Okay then. In which case,
Well, I do have another tin hat full through there. There's
Go
also,
on.
there's also another one.
Go on,
Tin
then.
full hats all the way down with me on this film.
go for it.
But you have to question the end. Is it just happening in her mind?
No.
There we go. I knew that one was coming somewhere. I was
Yeah.
actually
But,
thinking it
and
was
also,
coming
at
from
what point do we slip into permanently just being the aliens playing around in her head?
My question to that is, why would there have flying saucers floating through the air if it was all in her mind?
Because
be
that's
the-
what she expects.
But does she, though?
Yes. It's pop culture, isn't it?
Because
That's the classic image of an alien invasion.
But
Flying
does that,
saucers in the sky.
does that fit in with the happy image that she's got of what life should be like?
Yeah, 'cause basically everyone who's being taken over, they're all in their own little bubble like that.
there you go. All doing a song and dance number from the from a Bjork video. You blow a fuse.
That's what it
symbol,
is, yes.
sky
Is that what it was? Oh,
No,
right, okay.
Not really, but that's how it's staged, wasn't it? Really, I mean,
Yeah, I
Right.
hadn't. Yeah, there was something. I was trying to put my finger on it, but yeah, you're right. Bjork. That's exactly what it was.
yeah. Okay, so Jim, is that your tinfoil theory for the finale, or
That's my ultimate one. It's
that's
kind
your,
of,
that's it?
that,
is
that,
it?
yeah. It's kind of how far do you want to go with it? At what point do the aliens start mess with her mind? How much of this film actually happens in her head?
Okay, right. Well, that's
Because there's definitely a bit where they are in her head around the midpoint and poking around, but it's at the point she becomes conscious that they're in her head.
okay.
But think about it. No one says a word. It's all very dreamlike from the get-go.
Well, yeah, there is a yeah. I just thought it was directed by Marcel Marceau, but yeah, I do get what you're on about. Yeah,
No speech,
Okay.
it's just walking against the wind.
yeah, everyone's trapped inside a glass box. Why are they in a glass box? Right. Okay. Then what about you then, Elton? What's your ending theory?
I don't know if I have a theory on anything. I'm very happy with the ending. I get it that she's in her own Private Idaho, and she's been accepted, and that's what she was striving for. I don't know whether if that's all in her head and terrible things are happening outside or anything like that. I'm not. The only problem I have with it, Darren, from your point of view of the aliens to come in and going, oh, do you know what? She's just a fucking pain in the ass. Do you know? Just put it down there and let her live her life, and we'll make everyone happy. That's brilliant. I like it in this world, but then you've got Marines, and you've got SEALs and army people and stuff like that.
And orcas and
walruses.
and polar bears.
No, that's it. I quit. That was it. I'm done. No, but you've got trained army and military people, and they're not doing that. She's the hardest person in the world,
No,
and they're
no,
like, "Oh, do you know what? No,
Not the hardest person, the most difficult person. What if, right, they've all been taken by surprise except her, right? You don't have to be a military expert to, if you can see what's coming and you prepare with enough time, or that, right, okay, if I walk around this
Enough
corner, we're going to
stream.
get smacked in the face by a frying pan.
Yeah.
You don't walk round the corner and yet, old Bob from the army, who doesn't know he's going to get smacked in the face by a frying pan, even though he's like, killer commando, will walk around the corner and get hit in the face by a frying pan. He's not less harder than the woman who knew what was coming. She was just more well informed.
yeah,
She could just see what was up, and you could see she was pretty creative. What I did like about it also is when she thought she had everything prepared, it still fucked up as well, like slipping in the water. It wasn't perfect. This wasn't Bruce Willis in Die Hard, taking out 15 terrorists with a fucking a stapler or something like that. This thing, it wasn't perfect. Her sap, even though she thought it was. And it was a good idea. It's like the most basic thing she could do: fill pans with water and boil the fucking water. Right? Because you're an attacker. You get a face full of boiling water. You forget the attack, and it's just like my skin. It's coming off my face.
There was only one flaw to a plan.
Her pan.
Yeah, well, it was. It was
It was
actually
on the floor.
I was going to
Her
say,
pan went
have you ever tried to boil water in a pan? That much water in a pan? I mean,
it's forever, isn't
it
it?
takes
Yeah,
fucking forever.
It takes. Yeah, she's obviously got one of those top class augers, whatever you call them.
Whatever she's got is better than my bloody.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, mine takes ages. I try to boil some pasta, and I think I'm still there a week later.
Boil the kettle first.
Yeah,
pour
that's
it
it.
in.
Pour the kettle first, pour it in, then pour in some hot water so it doesn't just go too far off the boil. Yeah, that's it. No, I mean, for me, go on, Elton.
No,
you sounded
go
like you were going to finish off your thought.
No,
go on.
No,
Okay.
You're good.
You sure?
No, go. No, you go.
Oh, okay.
No, you go.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm sure.
Fucking hell.
No, you go.
Shut up. Mute. Click. No, I was going to say, for me, the way I interpreted that ending was actually that they brought her up. They brought her up, and then they realised they didn't need to control her. The whole point was that they
Give
used
her a frying pan.
no, they didn't
Take
need,
it off her.
Don't
And
need
any rocks.
yeah, any rocks,
Glue them down. She'll be fine.
rocks and frying pans. After that, we're all good. No, I
Plastic
mean,
knives and forks. Give her those.
yeah, that's it. She's not exactly Kevin McAllister, as long as she's not going to go at you with a paint pot. But the thing was, no, it was more like they basically, she's resisting, she's fighting. They're curious. They bring her up. They taser mind, do the zip zap with the mind, and then
Zip
once
zap, did you say?
yeah, the zip zap rap.
Zip zap rap.
They
Zip zap rap with the mind.
They did. They zip zap rap to the hip, to the hop, to the hip, to the hibbity. Drugs. Don't do drugs, kids.
Is it E.T. Dave, the turntable? No?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It was Devastating Dave, the turntable slave, and they see her memories and realise that the one thing they don't need to do is control her. They have what they need to control her, which is acceptance, and that's been her cage all along.
And
And
that's
just-
the best way to control her.
Yeah, it's
Just
like
as an aside,
Mm.
right, isn't it brilliant how they've made us all think about this? They've taken away the words from the film, and it just opens up to so much interpretation.
yes and no. I mean, because on the one hand, you guys all appreciate it, and you're all like in for it. But for me, I'm just sitting there going, yeah, I know. She's in a cage of her own making. She's in that Marcel Marceau glass box, and they've gone, nah, we don't need to bother. We're fucking about with her. The best thing we can do is just make all those little proles that we've got under our control just do whatever and make her happy. And if she's happy, she'll shut up. And it's just like it's easier to do that than it is to fight her because she's fighting back. Well, okay, then there's nothing to say they're not doing it elsewhere with other people. It's just they just take over with tentacly, what was it, the tentacle fucking flower things, and put those
Thistles.
in the thistles. They put the face hugger thistles in people. And they go into their magic. They go into their magic land because that's what happened, wasn't it? As soon as it went in her mouth,
Yeah.
she gets a reality that she can't accept. Well, if she can't accept it and she's not happy, and she's not happy enough that she can pull the bloody thing out, then it's not working.
Yeah.
So-
that reality was what they thought she would want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it was there just to control her, and it didn't work. So, what does work? Well, we'll have half a dozen proles that we've got under control because they're all happy in their happy land, and give her what she wants. So now she's happy, and the whole thing was about acceptance, and that's all she wanted to be, is accepted. That's why she was building the imaginary town. That's why she was sending letters off to people who didn't exist. That's why she was writing letters to herself or letters to Maud and all that sort of thing. She was basically, it's a film about isolation. You could say it's alien isolation. Sorry.
Christ.
But no, and that's what it was. But the thing was, to me, that didn't seem as clever as everyone seemed to think it was. I was just like, yeah. So they're controlling her a different way by using her own isolation against her. That she's just happy that now people will dance with her and wave at her and everything, and it's kind of a, she's not free. She hasn't become free. She hasn't been saved. She's just in a tiny little corner of the earth that they can just go, yeah, fuck it. Just leave 20 postmen and a lady who works down the shops all smiling and waving. And this troublesome one who's allergic to our thistle creatures will, she'll be happy. And you'll probably find that half a dozen others are probably doing exactly the same thing. It didn't seem clever enough to me to warrant that kind of crazy go bonkers dance routine at the end. What were we supposed to take away? I didn't know what we were supposed to take away from that, apart from, yeah, she's still trapped, but she's in a gilded cage now.
And they've made it acceptable to her, and obviously this kind of thing is acceptable to her. It doesn't mean to say it does have to be acceptable to you, because it's not your world, it's hers.
Well, it's not whether or not it's acceptable to me. It was more a case of why.
Because that's what she likes. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing you can take away from this. Why else would they put it in there?
Well, okay, so what was the thing that they made her swallow? Yeah. When she removed that and it went on the floor, didn't that turn into something? Wasn't it like I
It was
got
a clone
from
of
it?
her, wasn't it? When it hit the light.
It did, didn't it? So, yeah, because then you had her against her, didn't you?
Yeah, but again, it's an allegory. You know, your own worst enemy is yourself.
Yeah. So is this like a body snatchers type movie?
No, to be quite honest, I think it's more like Signs. It's that whole thing of Signs. You know, when you talk about Signs, people who don't like Signs, and I personally do, but people who don't like Signs go, why would aliens land on a planet that's like 75% water with beings that are almost 90% water when they're allergic to fucking water? You know, it makes no sense. And the thing is, it's an allegory about faith. It's an allegory about, you know, everything happens for a reason, you know, and that's fine. You know, the aliens are an allegory. And in this case, the same applies. The alien, the little thistle gets beamed into a replica of herself, and it goes and attacks her, and it actually damn near kills her, and then she kills it, the thing, and no, the thistle doesn't come out and go running away from the dead body. She dies in her arms. Why? Well, because the thistle doesn't matter anymore. It's an allegory. It's her fighting herself.
Yeah.
You know, it's her. You know, it's representative of her own internal struggles and all that kind of business. And it's like, fine, okay.
So you want to know why the actual aliens turned up?
Well, the problem is, it's again going back to Signs. When I watch Signs kicks off right at the beginning with Mel Gibson's wife dying, right at the beginning, and him renouncing religion. That's right front center, bang, right in the beginning, and you're like, poof, there you go. And the rest of the film is him regaining his faith through all this crazy shit that happens around his family. In this film, it's a home invasion movie until the final third, when it's not. And it's just like, oh no, actually, we weren't doing all this. It wasn't Home Alone with aliens. It was actually it wasn't Panic Room with aliens. It was suddenly it's all about grief and regret and isolation and all this kind of stuff, which is clever and nice and interesting and a different way of taking it. But for me, it was just like, oh, my brain immediately goes, why? Why would aliens? You've spent so long establishing that they're a threat. Why would they all of a sudden decide that now is a time to suddenly be benevolent because she's got a few personal mental issues? And it's like, weren't you trying to take over the Earth 5 minutes ago? Now all of a sudden you're intergalactic therapists.
I see it as their mission is control. All they want is control. And yet they struggle and try to work out how to control her. And that is the allegory of, you know, just her being at peace and being accepted. And so the aliens struggle for control where she struggles for acceptance. And they come at the very end to a peaceful agreement of they have her control, but with her acceptance.
Can I ask, did there any, because I don't remember seeing the aliens actually kill anybody.
No.
They didn't, did they? No. That's an interesting thing. Not killing things, being finding it more important to have a workforce or whatever it is they were going to do with the human race, rather than it's like treated like a precious commodity. Now, let's not destroy them. Let's, maybe that's another thing for the whole control angle. Maybe that's why they could have just probably zapped a fucking shot her through a brick wall and dealt with the problem that way, but they didn't.
Look at the many ways that they tried to gain control. What, like with throwing the light in immediately. As soon as she walks into the light, bang, she's under their control. And then the red light, bang, she's under their control. There's that guy dragging her by her hair. She gets out, bang, he's under their control, being brought up to the ship.
Mm.
There is the aliens are moving around the house, trying to work out what is going on. There is some resistance there. We're not used to this resistance. We normally got control. And I think it is about them learning about control. The big one on top of their house, which is incredible, by the way. Loved it. And I'm sure we'll talk about the different types of creatures that we have. Doesn't have control. She has control in the end on that one.
Does she? Oh yeah. Well, I suppose she does because she sets it on fire.
Yeah, well, she thinks the problem through, and has the control over the alien, thus vanquishing it.
Okay. Jim, you've been a little bit quiet. How are you feeling about this?
I think vanquish. Fucked up well and truly, I think.
Sorry, yeah.
A bit more close. That's one hell of an insurance claim.
Yeah.
I must admit, I don't know if I'm getting too old, but I did think that. How are you going to explain that to the insurance company?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah. So how did you manage to write this car off? Because personally, I don't think this is covered by the excess. If I'm honest,
Was it locked? No.
Was it on the drive or was it in a garage? Well,
what step did you take to make sure you didn't have to set an alien alight trapped inside the vehicle?
Were the windows up?
yeah.
Does it have an immobilizer?
Yes, we haven't had the fire team report yet to confirm whether or not it was an intentional explosion. In which case, you will have forfeit your policy. I mean, it was a funny advert for Compare to Meerkat, if I'm honest. But there you go. No, but I mean,
Bloody insurance companies, third party fire and theft. Who's going to steal a car that's on fire? You fucking shysters.
act of God. If everyone's doing their own thing, everything's an act of God. Everyone's under the control of the Almighty, for fuck's sake. No, anyway, so yeah, I was going to say, how do you feel about what we just said, Jim? I mean, are you on board with this? These theories?
I do. I kind of like the ending, but I feel it is a bit. I think they're going for the kind of it's the last rug pull. That we're going to give you this kind of like weird, kind of sort of remind me kind of David Lynchian almost, that kind of use of the music and the old timey song and dancing, and they give you a bit of a swerve ending.
Yeah,
but I don't think it quite fits with everything else. It's not a total mismatch. And I think it's one of those, as an ending, it's more satisfying to talk about like now, or like me and Teresa did after the movie, than it is actually to experience in the movie.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, that does make sense.
And so whether that makes it a strong ending or a weak ending, I'm not entirely sure, Frank, to be honest. That's a whole philosophical, what constitutes film entertainment sort of idea. Hats off for going there, though, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
And I like the fact that there are so many interpretations to it.
Yeah, as Darren rightly said, a film with no dialogues made us talk about it for nearly 60 minutes.
Well, that's right. I mean, that's one thing I'd like to ask. At what point did the penny drop for you that no one was going to say a fucking dicky bird in this movie? Because I think, about 20 minutes in before I realised, hang on, no one's actually said a fucking thing. But I hadn't noticed. Because, why she's on her own, why would she be talking?
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. I think when the little clown with the little tramp with the Hitler moustache and the bowler hat turned up and started walking around playing with two rolls and forks, I thought Go on, Dal. You were saying because I heard you say something there, mate.
Yeah, he said, when did you kind of twig it? It was about halfway through. It's like, nobody said a damn word.
No one said a thing.
Yeah, and I love the way they kind of, even when they've got, like, you know, her and other characters in the same room, they fucking carry it on by using it as an awkward silence.
Yes.
You know, it's like, you know, the whole thing is that her being spat in the face is all you need. And that's great storytelling.
Yeah.
You don't have to stand there and go, this is what it meant. You're just sitting, I mean, it's the ultimate sort of, let's see now, you know, where you get some films which literally lead the audience by the hand. You know, it's the equivalent of telling a joke and then, do you know what? It's funny because I said this and it was this, and this.
Yeah.
Like the chicken crossed the road and it's like to get to the other, do you get it? Do you get it now, right? Let me explain it again, right? You got a chicken, right? And there's the other side of the road and it needs to get to it, right? So it was trying to get over. So it's pretty like obvious. If it's walking in that direction, then that's what it was doing. But that's also what's funny about it, you see? Because you're kind of not expecting it, even though you are. And that kind of thing.
Yes. How to over-explaining. That's an interesting. That's an interesting double.
I have mansplaining. Yeah, you are.
Well done.
If I've explained it, I've mansplained it so much it's no longer mansplaining.
No, it's just
this is it. It's gone so far left. It's gone right. There we go.
It's meta-splaining now.
Turning into man spreading.
Oh, good
it
lord!
Oh no, let's not talk about man spreading.
on the M6 again, Dal. Yeah,
you spread those mans. Yes.
Good lord.
like a fine jam. Butter my bread, motherfucker.
Oh, yuck.
God, I'm sponsored by a little chef at this rate.
Early salsa.
Jubilee pancakes. Anyway,
yeah, I like that. I like that. It's you know, as you say, it's a simple, effective tool. Just cut the words. That's it. What is use your imagination? There you go.
What about you? What about you, Elton?
I knew before going into the movie, I'm afraid.
Well, of course you did, didn't you?
Well,
you
yes.
knew who like the main antagonists were as well.
Yeah.
You kindly let us know.
Sorry.
So,
I'm really sorry.
This will never not be funny. So yeah, and how did you feel about it? The dialogue being dialogue free.
I thought it was very well done. Although there were a couple of stages, I think with the parents of Maud, the spit in the face, I understood, but the policeman going, that was a bit too much for me. I think just there was no need for the breath. It was just stern silence would have been much better than just I'm going to say something. No, I'm not going to say something.
Yeah,
and then walking out. And there were stages through the film where because I knew, I was thinking, this is like when the parents say, right, next person to say another word gets a wallop or a smack or goes to their room, and the kids do everything, make all the other noises apart from words themselves. It's e, o, ah,
yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Welcome to the M6 podcast.
It's all the other noises apart from words. But I could deal with it. I was very happy with it, actually. I thought they did it very, very well.
Yeah, I was going to say I found the lack of dialogue was very good as an acting showreel for the main character, for the main actress. She she put across everything you needed to know in those facial expressions, her body expressions, everything.
Stacey
like that.
from EastEnders, yes.
Stacey from EastEnders, for fuck's sake. Yeah. So Stacey from EastEnders, she did an absolutely sterling job in putting across the emotions and the feelings and the fear and the anguish and the turmoil and all that sort of stuff. I thought that was really well done. So for me, again, that was one of those things where I sat there and I was admiring it rather than being engaged by it. I was sitting there going, wow, they've done a really good job here of holding that in and not needing the dialogue. I was quite impressed by that. But I'd never really thought anything more of it than just like, that was really cool idea. And, you know, if she had, you know, the only thing I think I missed was when she sort of gets up and starts sort of going down the stairs the first time. You know, I was kind of half expecting that sort of, you know, that American thing of you get a character and if the character's on their own, they're literally narrating to the audience. I wonder what that is. What could it be? Why am I talking to myself? You know,
exactly. Yeah.
You know, I was kind of. Yeah, and I was kind of waiting for that, and I think the fact that they got around that I thought was really cool. So, yeah, I liked it, and I didn't really twig that it was going to be completely silent until she went into town, and then she sort of tries practicing waving at that bloke, the first bloke she sees, and I thought any second now she's going to go, hi, or something really cringy, and then she didn't. And I thought, oh, hang on. Something else is going on here. And then okay, they're going to completely go silent. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I liked it. I thought as a device it was cool. But again, it never went past cool for me. It was cool, and then it made sense. But that was probably, and that's because, as everyone said, you know, she's on her own. What's she going to do? She's not going to narrate it. But then
some people do.
I was going to say, that said, when I'm on my own in the house and I've had to turn all the lights off because the girls are on camp or something, and I'm the only one in the house, I'm like, right, I'm just going to turn the lights off now, and I'm going to go up to bed. Yes, I am. You know what I mean? I'm just going to talk to myself all the way up the stairs. Tra-la-la-la-la. Mm-hmm. There's nothing really behind me, honestly, Gov. Why would there be? Oh.
Or you do what I do, which is you take a run at the staircase, and as you go, you hit the light switch and continue running. It's like, yeah, I've got good momentum. There's no way they're going to catch me before I get under that duvet, and then I'm fully protected.
Yeah, I have defeated the monster by getting to the toilet and turning the light on. Yes, success.
Yes. In your face, shadow bastards.
I can hear you, shadow bastards. Right.
Actually, there is a guy who looks at videos of that kind of thing. He doesn't treat them seriously at all, but he calls them shadow bastards. Oh, it's a shadow bastard.
Nice.
Yeah, that reminds me of him when I say that. Shadow bastards.
Shadow bastard. Right, is there anything else anyone wants to say? Because to be quite honest, it is going to just be recounting over what we've already discussed. Is there anybody got anything else they want to bring up?
Yeah, could I just... Because
sure.
I think we've briefly spoken about the actual aliens themselves, but the different variants that we have.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Of the small child, and then the big one, and the way that they are introduced to us fully, where the kid one is just sat there in some weird pose of its hands down and its elbows up in the air and crouched down. You're like, fucking hell, man, that's creepy. And then the other one, it throws a dummy and then appears right in front of her face, once again on its knees, but with its hands clasped at the bottom. And then you had that big spider one as well. It's just, okay, the monster gets bigger as well, but it's not a crazy, overzealous type thing. It kind of feels natural and fits very well.
Okay, so what does everyone else feel about the different creatures?
Really good.
Yeah,
I like the fact they've taken such a simple design and tried to do something else with it. You know, they've genetically modified these creatures to be tools. You know?
You fucking tools. Come around my
tool.
house, running around at night. What are you fucking playing at?
You're a fucking inanimate object.
You know, something else I noticed about those different variations, right,
Yeah.
was that apart from the very first one that you saw, the one that, you know, the normal standard alien they had in there, every single other one of them made a noise, you know, like screaming or screeching. Kind of reminds me of, you know...
The first one did as well.
Did it?
Yeah, because she was under the bed. After it stepped off the bed and it opened the window, before it went out on the roof, it made that kind of noise.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on, carry on.
I was going to say, it reminded me a little bit of Brave New World, where it's got, like, you know, you've got your perfect race, the alphas, and then you've got the other humans, and they're created to do certain jobs, like the betas and the seaters and stuff like this, you know, because they become less intelligent as they go on.
Right.
And that's what that kind of reminded me of, because they did look a little bit like the aliens that you had, but they looked like they'd been bought on Wish.com. If you look into their faces and their eyes, it's like, oh yeah, you're sort of like you're the one they're selling the fucking was it the outlet mall? You're the outlet mall aliens.
You're the blue and
That's what
white.
you are.
You're the blue and white striped Tesco's own brand aliens, aren't you?
Yep, you're the one. We got a job lot of these that came off a cargo ship that beached along the you know, fucking Essex coast. We've had away with the toys, and now we've got to sell them. We didn't get the time to look in the container, so we're not sure what these things are supposed to be, but we'll sell them anyway.
Yeah.
And make a cut the bob.
Yeah, stick them on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Jim?
I like the fact that they weren't all just like the standard model. I mean, for a bigger budget movie, it would be very, very toyetic,
Yes.
as it were. But I mean, I did like that kind of like that big spider one. That's kind of, yeah, that's not as smart as the other ones. That's kind of like an attack dog, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when
You know,
it
and
fell
they
off
kind
the
of,
roof.
I like there seemed to be like different ones, and there was one that was clearly quite a smart one who tried to communicate. No, she doesn't understand language. Fuck it. Oh, frying pan.
Yeah, tang.
You notice something
Christ,
else?
worse than Bjork and that photographer. Christ, lady.
Is it me, or you know the spider one, the big spider one? Was it acting a bit like, you know, those guys that you get on a runway with the two table tennis bats that guide in planes? Because as the ship was coming down, it kept changing the shape of its arms. So I'm just wondering.
Popping and locking. It was popping and locking.
Yeah.
It was.
That was communication, wasn't it?
I thought it was trying to get an extra £3 off the passers-by, whereas it was dancing on its lino.
It was obviously like the extraterrestrial version of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. You know,
Yeah.
Beat Street, the king of the beat. So rocking that beat from across the street. A Beat Street is a lesson too, because you can't get the streets beat you. That's what he was saying. That's what I got anyway. That's my
Really?
that's how I interpreted his moves.
You interpreted.
I interpreted, yes.
Oh, right.
I did.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad you
I
interpreted.
understood it to be like this.
This was the thing that I understood. The thing I understood most.
I did. I'm a deep thinker, me. Yep.
Right. Okay. Because I was going to say, because for me, that the popping and locking spider alien, I just thought any minute now, if I get really bored, I'm going to cut that scene and I'm going to try and cut it to the soundtrack or YMCA and just see if I can get it. Young man, there's no place you can go and.
Tour de France by Kraftwerk.
Yeah,
Put that on there. Oh, ain't no stopping us by Ollie and Jerry.
Yeah.
No one will survive too. Electric Boogaloo. Fuck. Oh, it writes its fucking self.
But the one thing I was gonna say with the aliens, apart from the fact that obviously it was interesting that they went with the sort of standard greys, was I started to wonder whether or not they were they themselves were under control of the thistle creatures, so they weren't really even aware of what they were doing. And the reason,
nice.
So that in itself, the thistle creatures were the actual enemy, and so that's why when she couldn't be taken over, they elected. Because she couldn't be taken over by the thistle creature, that's when they elected to, okay, fine, we can't kill them, we don't kill them, we just use them as workforce. So all you got to do is keep them happy like a terrarium or something, just put them in there. So that's how I kind of squared that circle. But the actual aliens, I thought they were really well done for the most part. There were a couple of shonky moments when I was just like, ugh! But the thing that kept taking me out of it with them was the fact that they seemed to always give her a chance. And I don't know if that was a sort of a decision by a director to just, it deliberately has to show that they're not trying to kill her, or whether or not it was a decision by the VFX crew to just go, well, it's cheaper just to have it standing still and doing nothing and making it look weird and creepy. And I couldn't work out what the deal was, because there was times when it would look at the various ones, especially the little tiny scratchy one, which obviously was trying to kill her, and it was like it sort of sat there looking at her as she backed off down the hallway. Then she closed the door, and then it decided to go bonkers attacking the door, and it was like, why? What?
Well, like cats, right? Okay, when you go to the loo, they like to get in there, otherwise they scratch at the door. Well, that's what was happening here. But I mean,
right.
Jesus Christ! I mean, at least you would, if you found that sat in your pants, you would shit your fucking self. So being in the toilet, or in the bathroom would be the optimum place to be in that situation.
Well, absolutely. I have no doubt that would be my first retreat.
Indeed.
But no, so I was kind of a little bit confused as to what they were doing when they were doing it. I mean, I get the whole it's unknowable, you can't know what they're doing, but you've got to apply so much stuff to what they're doing to the ending that it made me always kind of question what was going on with them at the start. But the one I did like was the telepathic aliens. I loved all that with the sort of like with the pulling the scissors out of her hand and throwing it over his shoulder, or when she comes up trying to attack one and it just kind of flicks its finger and just blasts her back out into the stairs. And I thought, that's quite cool. And then again, it's not killing her, it's just putting her out the way. And so again, it's all about control and all about isolation and keeping her under control, and we've discussed that bit. But I thought for the most part they were well done. They were creepy as fuck, but yeah, I always kept coming back to the fact that I thought the bad guys in this movie were actually thistles, and I thought I was trying to work out how you'd get rid of them, but
I can just hear Johnny Morris in my head going,
thistles. Okay.
They could be
make no sudden movements. Back away slowly. Yeah, go on.
They could be the bad guys. You're right, the thistles, because where does her Darren get ready? Where does her thistle come from?
Oh, her.
Phrasing.
It comes from the mouth of the other alien, doesn't it? It comes up like a hairball.
Oh.
Fucking hell, every fucking sentence.
Sorry, dude.
Hold on, I'm not prepared for this bit. Can you just stay there for just a second, right? I'll just hang fire there.
Oh,
right?
good lord. Go on.
Hold the thought. Just a sec.
I suspect the maracas are coming out. I'm just going to take a guess. Here we go.
Because when I do this podcast and we talk about these series, I do like to have building materials. So, okay, if you want to go for it, I'm applying it to my nuts right now. Okay. Here we go. Look, I'm going to tear it. There we go. I've torn a piece off.
The tin foil.
Shall I go for a pretty bow, or should I say a pretty bonnet, or a pirate hat configuration?
I go
Shall
for
I do that?
yes, a cone hat. Go for a cone hat.
Oh, okay.
A tricone hat.
A tricone. Oh no, how do I make one of those? All these years of cosplaying have come to nothing.
Ruined.
Ruined. Oh, I'm going to make a ship captain's hat. There we
A
go.
shit captain's hat.
A shit captain, yeah. He is a shit captain. I'm a shit captain.
But you were saying, Elton.
Do you know what?
She got away because it wasn't her thistle.
Oh.
It wasn't a thistle designed for her.
Is this like that conversation where you have about, she gave away a unicorn or something like that? Whatever.
Oh, for God's sakes.
No, it came out the alien's body, didn't it? It was coughed up like a hairball. But that's not to say that it wasn't. That was the thing. Oh, I don't know. I've lost my whole train of thought.
Train of thought ruined.
I'm done.
I think
Just commercial break, honestly.
Carry on talking. I've not done the hat yet.
quickly pull out the albatross.
You're asking me to pad for time now at midnight, are you?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
going to say, I think.
I'm just going to do a pointy
You
hat.
do
because-
realise this isn't video, Darren. You could just say you've done it.
No, I can't because then I'll know. You see? I'll
Then
know
you'll
that I
know.
haven't done it. I'll know I haven't done it. And,
Uh,
and then it'll just be the illusion that's
I-
been
I think
spoiled.
it's. I think it's
What
safe.
illusion?
I think it's safe to say that the wheels have not only come off, but they have
Illusion
been
of
replaced
freedom.
and come off again.
Let's see
And
if you
now
can
rolling
make
down the road on fire, just like in the song.
Yeah, with a spidery alien jammed behind a steering wheel. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I-
that's beautiful, Darren. That is beautiful. Yes, that will
What?
protect
Any
you.
other questions? No? Okay, right, let's move on. What's next week? Oh, there you go.
yeah, I think we're done. I think
Are
we're
we?
done. Yeah.
Oh.
Take the photo of your hat. Put it on the
I'm
Facebook
gonna-
group.
I'm going to.
Do it. Do
Hold
it
on.
now.
There we go.
Do it.
Right.
Facebook group.
Make sure.
There you
none of
go.
the- None of the pawns in
This-
the picture.
No,
There we
just
go.
just
Right.
put the porn away. Jesus Christ. Oh God. It's like he's here in the room playing with stickle bricks again. Right.
Oh, that's a beautiful. That is a beautiful shot.
Is that a beautiful, beautiful image for you?
It is. It is a beautiful image. Yes. it
Right.
is.
Well, you post
God,
that up on
that looks
Facebook
fucking
because we haven't
bonkers.
seen it. That'll be
All right.
great. That'll be a
I'm sharing it on Facebook now.
yeah.
Oh, I'm going to put as a caption. Trust me,
It'll make sense.
it'll make sense when you listen to the latest episode.
Yeah, which is funny because basically that requires them to have gone at least 84 minutes into this review.
You see how I'm drumming up business, right? Okay, I'm keeping it interested, right? Because they will go for this. I think.
I think your faith in the listeners is better than mine. but you know what? If
I'm
anyone
not helping very much, am I?
no, I tell you what. No.
And also, I could go LL
11
Cool J
years
with
it's
this
taken
as
for
well.
him to realise that.
14.
My hat
14.
really is like a shark's fin. Oh, look at that!
Your
Actually-
hand is like a shark's fin.
My hat is like a shark's fin.
To be quite honest though, I mean, you know, I've known him nearly 40 years now, and I can honestly say I think his moment of realization has taken a lot longer than 14 years.
If we just wrap up, he can just carry on doing this, and we could be gone for 2 hours before. we
I'm an
find out.
entertainer.
It comes to something when I can't even tell if my AI is accidentally triggered or if he's actually doing his thing. Right.
Can I take a decent pic? No, Darren, that looks ridiculous.
My God, he's referring to himself in third person now.
I am. I'm like the Rock. The Darren, the Darren has taken a picture, and the Darren will be editing it and posting it out there.
No editing. It's got to go. You got to go raw dog, my friend. Straight onto the internet. No stopping.
No, I've got to chop the photo because my sack show it. Anyway,
Oh, good Lord.
yeah.
Oh my God!
There we go.
Anyway,
Talk amongst yourselves.
if anybody else has any feedback on this episode or on this film, then please do send it in to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com or put it up on the Facebook group underneath Darren's hat.
I don't know about anyone else, but has this put anyone else off of baked potatoes?
I don't know, but I feel very weird watching old episodes of the Cybermen with Doctor Who. I've gone right off them. Right. On that note, right. I think Darren, are you finished now with your
I'm done it. Yeah.
your foil origami bollocks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 Yep. You sure?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Cool. Lovely. Are you going to tell us what we're going to be doing next week? The film we're going to be watching next
Yes,
week?
because we're in now the indiscriminate month of horror,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes.
So I thought we'd go for something a little bit fun. this week.
Okay.
Okay, it's something that I watched a while ago on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
There is also a sequel out to it, but we'll just go for the original to begin with. It's a film starring Tamara Weaving, who I've noticed has been cropping up in a few kind of horror movies, or should I say thrillers, that kind of thing. And it is The Babysitter.
The Babysitter.
The Babysitter.
The Babysitter.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Okay.
I
the
know the one.
Yes.
Samara Weaving, you mean?
Samara Weaving, that's the one, yes.
AKA, we couldn't afford Margot Robbie. So Margot Robbie was not available.
Yep.
So we got Samara Weaving. Okay, and that's
Margot Robbie. Oh.
yeah. So, okay, I've not seen this film. Jim, have you seen this film?
I have seen this, and I've seen the sequel.
And you've seen
Yeah,
the
same
sequel.
here.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Elton, have you seen this film?
No.
Okay. Okay, and it's on Netflix, you say?
Yes, it is. Indeed.
Okay. The Babysitter.
The Babysitter, yep.
I'm going to take a guess. It's about a babysitter.
It is. It is about a babysitter.
Fucking my deduction powers know no bounds.
Spoilers.
Watch out, Poirot.
My French accent is a little overdone. But I
do believe you are the murderer.
I thought I have my eggs and my funny moustache.
Jesus Christ, you starting to sound like George Melly.
Actually, no, Slash has come into the room. I say, boy, what the fuck are you doing with my guitar there, boy?
I see, she's got a smile. I see, she got a smile. It seems to me, reminds me of childhood memories, boy.
Don't you be touching my fretboard. Anyway, oh my god, callbacks. Right, so yes, let's do the babysitter, I guess. Oh, good lord!
what?
Stop
Phrasing.
it! Stop it!
She's getting very M6.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
Okay, so
It's next week that we get cancelled, isn't it?
I was going to say we're
Yes,
getting
yeah.
this is the preview for next week's wholly inappropriate conversation. So next week we will be watching and reviewing The Babysitter, the movie on Netflix with Samara Weaving, not Tamara Weaving or Margot Robbie.
Or Margot Robbie.
Or that geezer from Star Wars Episode 1.
Netflix, not Pornhub. Netflix.
Netflix,
Get it
not-
right.
Yeah.
Son.
She's not in Star Wars Episode 1 or Episode 2.
What about Ewoks Caravan of Courage?
No. No.
Oh, man. One
Apparently
day,
not.
I'm going to say that and I'll get it right first time.
Well, I tell you what, maybe I'll
funny
do
you should
Caravan
say
and
that.
Courage when it's my next choice.
Oh, man, would you?
Yeah, I
That'd be
would.
great.
I would. Right. So before we go, Jim, you want to tell us what's going on in the fantastic world of Hypnagoria, where your podcasts are not 3.5 hours long?
No.
Oh, right.
Like, not usually, anyway.
Oh, I thought you said no, as in you weren't going to tell us.
No.
Are you going to tell us? No. Oh.
What am I doing this week? Oh, right, yes. I've just finished my series on the old BBC Two Horrible Bills. And I've just opened the very first Halloween advent calendar.
Nice.
Where every day there is a new ghoulish light behind every door.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as text and pictures on the website, there's also a podcast version, which is all read out with music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff coming out every day from me throughout October.
Oh, good
Why
Lord.
do I do this myself? I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
That was my next question. Oh, my Lord. What are you doing to yourself? But, okay. So that's all over at hypnagoria.com.
It is. It's going to be a busy month.
I should fucking say so. Cool. Okay. And what about you, Elton? What's going on over at Rogue 2?
I'm talking about cars going around in circles with Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm still on the Great Bear Island in the Long Dark, heading towards Pleasant Valley. If you know what that means, then you know what that means.
I'm heading towards Pleasant Valley, if you know what I mean.
Just off the M6.
Just off the M6. There's a lay-by near the Little Chef. Just behind the bins. Right, cool. Well, Darren, you got anything to promote apart from your tinfoil hat folding skills?
No, not at all.
Cool. Neither have I. So let's leave it there. So thank you all very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And thank you all for listening. And if you've made it this far, here's a little test for you. If you've made it this far, post up on the Facebook group Cod in Batter Sauce. Don't say anything else. Just cod in batter sauce. Because if you post that up on Facebook, it'll be on the Facebook group. Nobody will know what the fuck you're on about, but we will know you've reached the end. There you go. So if you want us to know you've reached the end of this absolute nonsense of your tether, then do post up on the Facebook group Cod in Batter Sauce. There you go. And on that note, I think we'll leave it there. So until next week when we watch The Babysitter. No, not like that.
From behind a secret wall with a hole drilled in it.
We'll see you all next week. Until then, take care. Tatty, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Oh, bollocks to it.